From the top of the Time Life building smack dab in the middle of New York City, this is the TAZ Show. Talking wrestling, sports, and beyond.
It's the Black Tower Maniac coming out of Brooklyn. A one-man crime spree, he gonna leave you shook. Try to beat him if you can and survive if he lets you. Human suplex and he coming for you too. Better watch out, the guy your mother warned you about. And he's got one question I'll inform you about. Like,
you're not afraid of a little competition, are you?
Award-winning host and former world heavyweight champion, TAZ.
All right. The time has come. Hello, everyone. Good morning. If you listen to this live on TAZshow.com, I want to say thank you for. I'm used to saying thank you for downloading and or subscribing. Now it's like thank you for listening and getting up early to listen. And if you're listening to this as a digital download or as we call a podcast, thank you for downloading the show and subscribing to all my stuff at play.it. So welcome to the TAZ Show. I am TAZ. The KFJ, the Kung Fu Jobber's in the house. My man Seth, my producer. Seth, you around?
I'm here, buddy.
There you go, buddy.
Good morning.
You. I want to thank you, Seth, first and foremost, for all your efforts put into us getting this show live, daily, everything behind the scenes, from a technical standpoint, dealing with everyone here at CBS. Thank you for all your help.
It was smooth, man. It was a smooth transition. If I didn't do it, you'd kill me, so.
No. Jeez. Smooth is a whole nother word, but it doesn't matter. And thanks to everybody at CBS and Play.it, the whole team at CBS Digital, CBS Local, everyone. Just really a lot of work goes behind this. People don't realize, wrestling fans don't realize, sports fans, fans of whatever that listen to shows, no matter if it's terrestrial radio or streaming, whatever it is. There's a lot of work that goes into this. I mean, it's just so much. This has nothing to do with the contract end of, coming to an agreement. That's a whole nother story. I'm talking about technically, not as easy as you would think. So, as most of you guys know, we are going to be live every day, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern, right here at TAZshow.com or play.it, radio.com. And that's the deal. Phone number for live call-in, is 1-866-I-PLAY-IT. Tweeted this number out yesterday. It's on my Twitter header at official TAZ. So if you forget the number or, I don't know, we're working out kinks here. So if it's scrolling on your phone, on your digital, on your gimmick, on the website, I don't know how it works. But if you need the number, and because I'm not going to say it 5 billion times, it's on my official Twitter account. In the header. So it's 866-I-PLAY-IT, 866-475-2948. That's the actual number. So did you come up with that, Seth, the I-PLAY-IT?
I actually did.
Did you really?
I really did.
I was being sarcastic. Wow.
I did. Hey, you forgot something. You forgot to say Happy New Year as well.
What is it, another Jewish holiday?
It's Rosh Hashanah, Shana Tova.
Oh, my God. Well, happy holiday. Happy Rosh Hashanah. To you and everybody else that supports that holiday. So, no, you know what I'm saying.
Good morning, Hebrews and Shebrews.
Exactly. So today, this is what we're going to cover here this morning in this particular show. It's going to be pretty good. We're going to do a Raw review, Monday Night Raw review. How am I doing? Preview. Easy for me to say. Preview of Raw. We're going to knock that out of the park a little later on. There was also an incident with Paige and Alicia Fox. We're going to get to that in a little bit. Which is pretty interesting. I have some thoughts, opinions, and viewpoints on that. Two lovely divas from the WWE. Also, as everybody knows, the NFL Sunday kicked off yesterday. Technically, NFL kicked off Thursday. But all the games were yesterday. God, there's definitely a good chunk of stuff to talk about. Got a guest in this show going to weigh in, pardon the pun, on Mayweather. Actually had a fight. Floyd Mayweather had a fight. He's 49-0, had his last fight. And, another Play-It podcaster here, former world champion, two-time champion, Paulie Malignari. Say his name.
Wait, you're a Paisan? Come on. I can get the Jew to say the name right?
Say his name.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Is this on? Okay. Paulie Malignari.
Wow, pretty good.
Come on.
Malignari. Yeah.
Deals and broccoli.
Bro, he's the magic man, bro. He's from Brooklyn. He's a Brooklyn Paisan. So he's going to be on. He's also an acclaimed broadcaster on Showtime Boxing, right? Fox Sports. Help me out here.
Yeah, he does Showtime. He does CBS, PBC, Premier Boxing Champions League.
Nice.
You guys have a lot in common.
Who, what? Paulie and I, right?
Yeah.
He's a Brooklyn dude. Yeah, we both made our living in a squared circle. So,
Right. And then you're both making your living outside of it now, too, as well.
Look at that. So we're going to have my man Paulie on my Goomba. He's going to come on in a little while, and he's going to weigh in. He's the right guy to just break down the Mayweather fight, Mayweather in general, and what's going on in it. 49-0, the guy's retiring. Who knows? We'll see what the deal is.
He called the fight. He was there ringside.
Oh, that's right. I knew that, actually. I was at an establishment. I watched a chunk of the fight, but I couldn't hear it because it was loud, and I could not hear the commentary, so that's part of the problem. I had a lot of people around me. I'm very popular. People always flooding around me, as you know.
And you love it, too. You love it. You embrace them with the open arms.
Yeah. Well, of course. I'm very, I'm good with my people. You know that. You know that very well. My peeps. Yeah, so
I'm hoping to be one day.
You're gonna be a peeps. Yeah, again, the phone number is 866-I-PLAY-IT. 866-475-2948. I gotta tell you, I had an eventful weekend on Saturday. Had a lot of fun, man. I felt like I really went back to my roots, speaking of Brooklyn, because I made a very rare appearance at an independent wrestling show. Yes,
that is shocking.
I know it's shocking. Might be an overstatement, but yeah, yeah. But nah, it was Pro Wrestling Syndicate. I went over there in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, and was an excellent card they had there. I did an autograph signing, and there were a ton of wrestlers there on the card. Guys like EC3, Abyss, Davey Richards from the Wolves, Angelina Love, Curtis Hawkins, Danny Moff, Colt Cabana. Speaking of audio, Colt Cabana was in the house.
The king of podcasts.
Yes. So actually, I did Colt's show. I'll get to that down the road next week or so, whenever Colt's ready to drop that. But yeah, Colt and I sat down. We did his podcast, so that should you guys should like that. Colt's great. So as I always deemed Colt, he is the pioneer of wrestling podcast. That's a fact as far as where I sit. So, but yeah, it was fun, man. It was fun going back. Because it's been a long time since, like I said, I've been on a smaller show like that, and it was strange, man. Because it was like surreal. I mean, a smaller building, like a CYO center, and the locker room, and just like it felt like when I came up in the business, and it was cool to see that.
Were you looking for Sabu? Did you have any flashbacks?
No, I'm talking about before that. I'm talking about when I wrestled before.
IWCCW?
Even before that, dude. No, I'm seriously. I'm talking about before that. Independent shows, and before they were called independent. That's how long ago it was, like in the late 80s and the very early 90s. Stuff in the Northeast and, from Jersey and Brooklyn, Queens, and up in New England. Did tons of those shows when Johnny Rods was booking them. So, but, this kind of reminded me of that. You saw a lot of young, hungry wrestlers in the locker room that are just chomping at the bit to get to that next level, to get to a Ring of Honor or a TNA or a WWE or something like that. That's kind of what it was. It's just seeing those younger guys. And then the guys that, or in the gals in the case of Angela Love, that have been to that high level, or still at that high level, I should say, and see them still put their best effort into performing, no matter if there's 500 people there or 5,000 people. It doesn't matter. That's the credo, man. People pay for a ticket. It don't matter how many's there. You bust your butt, and that's the dealio. Again, the phone number, 1-866-I-PLAY-IT. The phones are starting to light up. We'll get to you a little bit. Just bear with me. And I-PLAY-IT is, 866-475-2948. So you see, think people on their iPhones are they got to look for the letter, right? I-PLAY-P.
Yeah, I just did it before.
It's kind of annoying, I got to tell you.
A little bit. So just, tell them the other number.
Just program it in your iPhone, guys. Or you got the little Samsung gimmick. You program the phone.
If he lets you.
Well done.
Nice.
Program, how would I say that? Program if I...
Oh, boy.
No, dial if you want. Set the... we'll figure it out. Anyway. Well said. Yeah, so I-PLAY-IT. So, yeah, you program it in your phone, so then you just dial me up and hit us up in the morning, and that's how you do it. I guess, unlike years ago, when I remember I used to try and call sports shows sometimes back in the day. You couldn't get... Yeah, of course I did. When I was younger. I was a big sports radio fan. Of course. Why wouldn't I? Why does that surprise you?
I'm just curious what you would sound like. How old were you? What would you say?
I was a teenager. I was a very intelligent and very rugged and tough teenager.
Richard Todd's a great quarterback.
No, I wasn't saying that. No, but even I was a Jet fan then. We're going to get to the NFL a little bit, but even though then, I was a big Jet fan back in the day. But no, really, I mean, it's cool, I think, to, for me, like, I was always a fan of sports talk and just talk radio in general. And that I end up coming out here talking about the wrestling business talk. You know what I mean? So it's kind of fun for me, I got to say. And speaking of fun, bro, because you're right in the middle of the season right now, we got to take a quick second here, talk about the crew, my boys over at DraftKings. Your season-long fantasy football team might be going strong. I know mine's not, okay? But you don't have to wait until week 16 to get paid, boys and girls. Put your fantasy skills to the test every week this season at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site. No season-long commitments. You guys know the drill. DraftKings is crowning a new millionaire every single week this season. Dude, this is legit, Seth. I know you're a big fan of DraftKings.
Yesterday, I played a bunch of DraftKings, and I did a 1 o'clock. They have different leagues, but just for 1 o'clock games only, I did it. And at one point, I was like 19th.
Wow.
Like plus 300, and I fell back. I actually won $90.
See, there you go.
Boom.
Good job, jobber, as we say. So you could do just like Seth. You could do just like Seth and turn your love for football. What was that? Why'd you hit the cheer button? You're working out the kinks.
With kinks for me.
You gave yourself a pop.
I did.
So Seth gave himself a pop. I digress. So basically, just pick your players, pile up the points, you pick up your cash, and that's it. And believe me, you never experience football like this. It's not your usual fantasy stuff. This is DraftKings. So hurry to DraftKings.com now and use the promo code TAZ to play for free, guys, at a shot at $1 million in this week's Million Maker event. Enter TAZ for free entry right now, only at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com. So, got to tell you, and we love the guys at DraftKings. They do a good job. So, I'm sure, that's a natural segue to go into NFL, sports talk real quick before we start talking about the wrestling business.
Hey, one more thing about going back to your appearance.
Yeah. What's up?
You getting dirt? I mean, how
dirt.
What was it like talking to the guys from TNA? You used to work with them.
Interesting. Good question. See, that's why you're probably the most esteemed producer in any sort of radio or any kind of digital downloading or anything.
Boy,
you're talented. No, okay, aside. Yeah, no, I did. I got the chance to talk to some of the guys. I mean, I actually know I saw that too was Balls Mahoney from ECW fame.
Oh, wow.
Old school Balls Mahoney. I saw him.
I still wrestling.
Met his son, young, good-looking kid. Looked nothing like the dad. No, Balls is a great guy, so I got to talk with Balls. Real quick, funny story about Balls. So he goes to show me a picture of something about his son on his phone, too, besides meeting him. I'm like, all right, you show me a picture, bro. I just met the kid. That's nice, but I'll look at the picture. And he bust out, bro, I'm not kidding, Balls Mahoney, bust out the flip phone.
No, he didn't.
Oh, I swear to God. He's old school throwback. He's a caveman. Balls Mahoney. Everybody knows that. I love him. He's a great guy.
Good theme song.
Funny dude, yes. And, he's the man. So what happened was I got to talk. I talked to EC3 briefly because we were all signing in the same room doing autographs. So it was kind of like it was tough because there was a lot of people there, and you don't want to disrespect people who are waiting in line and pay money to, sign stuff, take pictures, or whatever the heck it is. I got to talking to Abyss for a little bit. It was good to talk to Abyss. He was there, and, it was great catching up with Abyss. A lot of people don't realize a guy like Abyss, highly intelligent guy, and he nothing like the gimmick, like the character. He's very creative, very smart guy.
Was his brother there, Joseph Parks?
Joseph Parks was not there.
Oh, okay.
But Abyss was. So I think he said Joseph Parks was warming the car up.
Oh, okay.
So I got talking to him a little bit. I talked to Davey Richards a little bit and Angelina Love, who are an item, actually, who are married. So
I didn't even know that.
Why would you? Why would you know that?
That's why I'm here. I'm here to learn.
Yes. Again, the phone number is 866-475-2948. Yeah, so the thing is, I get to talking to basically Abyss most of the time because his table was next to my table, and he was the main guy. Talked. It was just interesting. He said everything's going good in TNA. He's just doing his thing, all that kind of stuff. I mean, just he kind of gives some input behind the scenes at times. I mean, he's not on a creative team or nothing, from what I understand. But I got to talk to some of the other guys, like a guy like Danny Moff. Danny Moff's not a guy who's at a TNA or at a Ring of Honor or WWE, obviously. And Danny Moff, man, this guy been working for several years now. I like this guy's style. Good guy. I mean, he's a guy that's someone that could get to that next level sooner rather than later. And I spent a lot of time talking to Colt Cabana, as I said, because I did do his podcast. So, but Colt's just Colt. He's just, Chicago guy, just one of the people, just having a good time. Oh, you know what else, Seth, that
Tell
I saw?
me.
I saw Virgil.
Virgil.
Virgil. Yeah, he might be the most hated man on the internet. Virgil.
He's the man.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
So I saw. I'm just telling you. So anyway, he wasn't on the card though, and then I saw Tommy Dreamer, the innovator of violence.
Your best buddy?
Yeah, he
your
was
bestest
there.
buddy?
Correct. And those boys were not, Virgil and Dreamer were not on the Pro Wrestling Syndicate card.
They came to get used to sign some stuff for them?
No, bro, they didn't. They didn't. So what they were doing there was they were doing something with Comedy Central. What they were doing, I don't know. I don't know I think Dreamer might have just been helping out. I don't know if it was like a production thing. I don't know what he was doing, but they were shooting mostly Virgil. So, and I talked to Tommy a little bit, and, he was just excited about his upcoming House of Hardcore shows he has. And then Virgil came over while I was signing and said hello, shook my hand, started yelling a bunch of stuff, laughing. We was like, hey, what's up? And he just, I don't know what he was saying. He was just going crazy. He was just in a high energy mood, and that was his deal. And he was just going nuts. And it was just good to see a lot of the guys, man. I mean, I'm a kind of like a all business type of guy. You know what I mean? So when I go to these shows. So it's it's to me, I kind of just put my nose to the grindstone, do my thing, and roll. That's my thing. So I didn't really spend a ton of time. I'm not really that as sociable. I'm at home sitting in a room, in a studio in front of a microphone or ringside calling wrestling matches. But now with my new career, with the TAZ show being a live daily show, this is my full-time gig. And I love it. I love sitting in here in a studio, talking to the fans, and just build this show up and sit here with you, Seth, and do this thing as opposed to going to shows. I mean, I'm not, that's why I don't normally do them. I'm doing another appearance like next month. It's not for a show, it's for like a big signing, Legends of the Ring. It's not a wrestling show per se, and I'm doing that because I committed to it a while back. So, it's like.
I saw pictures on your Twitter. You almost smiled at one of them.
Almost smiled. I was having a good time over there in Bay Ridge at the Pro Wrestling Syndicate show. So now I would like to briefly talk, not briefly, but I have some things I want to talk about with the NFL, if that's okay. I mean, I know we got phone calls coming in, but I'm going to get to those guys in a minute. Are we having an issue with the phone? That's what I'm hearing. Is there an issue, or are we good? Because we're working out kinks here. No? Yes? You're looking at me like I'm crazy. This is not TV yet, bro. You're looking at me like I'm not.
Damn it. I was going, that's my crazy face.
Jesus. Yeah, no,
I think we're good.
Okay. And anyway, so that's the deal. So we're, like I said, we're working out some kinks, and that's the cool thing. This is live. There's no margin for error. So we're, from a technical standpoint, we're
net.
We're no net, correct? We're doing our thing, and and also it's once these cameras come in, once the studio's rolling and the video elements up for the show, it's going to be really off the chart because people can watch the show.
They can see you hit me and throw stuff at me.
When are we going to have the cameras rolling, Seth?
October 12th. 12th.
That's awesome because that's the day after my birthday. My birthday's October 11th.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Sir. Yes, sir.
How much time do I have to shop?
No, don't buy me nothing. Just get the show right, and we're good. That's what you got to give me for my birthday.
Listen, you know that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
so.
no kidding. So.
What size are you?
So why is somebody on the internet saying, am I missing, on Twitter, am I missing something? Shouldn't the show be on? Can't find it. Hopefully it's just my stupidity. I don't. Can you take a look? He tagged you, Seth. Bill Steinmetz.
I'm on it.
Yeah, I think we're on the air. I mean, pretty sure we're up, right? We're on the air.
We're rolling.
We are? Okay,
Yeah.
We're good. Yeah, we're good. We're rocking. All right, cool. So, anyways, that's the dealio. So, talking a little bit about the NFL, we're going to get into that here in a second. And I got to tell you, it's to me, I don't think you could script a better week of the NFL. If you were the NFL in general and worried about ratings, I thought it was just a super exciting Sunday. And I've been a football fan for many years, and I'm a New Yorker, so at times I get a little, going, I'm kind of negative Nelly at times.
I got a quick update.
What?
The show is live, and Brian has the same birthday as you. He wanted you to know that.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah.
Tell two people who Brian is.
Brian is my guy.
He's your guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
we work
good.
together. Brian's here. He's part of the team. He's the glue.
He's the
big
glue,
toe.
baby. He's the glue. Again, 866-I-PLAY-IT, 866-475-2948. So, the NFL, back to the NFL. So, I got to tell you, of course, I'm one of these last-minute guys. I did something I had never done for years during the NFL season.
Uh-oh.
And I went, I splurged, I spent a few bucks, and I got, because I have DirecTV, I got the NFL Sunday ticket.
Nice.
Okay, dude, did you ever
Oh,
experience this?
Oh, yeah.
It is, my son said, Dad, are you, like, mad at yourself that all these years you didn't do this? And, oh, my God.
I'm mad at you.
I don't know. Let me explain why, okay? Because I was a Jet fan, forever.
And those games are always on.
Correct.
Local.
And as a New Yorker, I would just get the games, and I would get so much other football, the Sunday night game or then the 4 p.m. game or vice versa. So I didn't, I wasn't really like, why bother spending the money and the time to get the NFL Network when I'm a Jet fan? My team's on and there's other football on, NFL games. I watched 3 games on a Sunday. It's plenty. Well, now the Jets angered me over the years and just beat me down and tortured me. And then my man Rex Ryan went to the Bills. I was thinking, well, I'm a New Yorker. I should just be a Bills fan anyway. And because that's the only real New York team, because the Jets are Giants. I'm going to miss that.
Fireman Ed came back. You can come back too, Taz. Come on.
Yeah, he came in for the big return, big babyface return. But see, the thing is, like, I'll never root against the Jets. I will never root against them unless they're playing the Bills. I mean, because I can't root against the Jets. But anyway.
Rex Ryan, Mark, you are.
Yeah, no, I like Rex. And I've always liked Tyrod Taylor. We'll get to him in a minute. When he played for Virginia Tech, I was always a fan. I thought he was like the next Michael Vick or the next Tyrod Taylor. I always thought I was always a fan of this guy. But anyway, so I get the NFL ticket, NFL Sunday ticket with DirecTV. I go for the $260. And the reason why is because now I can see all the Bills games. That's what I got it, right? So I can see the Bills games, right? Well, I got a lot more than that. Now, the whole 4-game mix, and then they have like an 8-game mix.
In the red zone.
The red zone is.
I have the red zone. I love it.
Yeah, the red zone. People love the red zone. I actually like the 4-game mix. And you could highlight the game, click it, listen to every game, watch the other games. I mean, really, especially with my fantasy team, which I'm kind of men's on. We'll have Mike today on. We're going to have Mike on for the Fantasy Island segment. That's Wednesday?
Wednesday? No.
Thursday, my
Yes.
bad. Yeah, Thursday. So I'm just gonna get used to when we're having on Delio. So first day, yeah. So that's why I had to get the NFL ticket, man. And I gotta tell you, I completely love it. I watched football all day into the evening, nonstop. It was great. But I gotta tell you, the other thing that a lot of people talk about, the new thing with the whole issue with concussions with players and safety for players, which I think is huge. They have these outside neurologists that are on the sidelines that, if a guy gets his bell rung or something like that, these aren't the team doctors. They kind of sit down, have a chat with the guy, interview the player to see maybe, these guys are expert neurologists. These guys are, a lot smarter than Seth. I mean, maybe smarter than me. But they kind of see what's going on if you belong back on the field or not, which I think is great. I think it's genius. But it was interesting because I was watching the Giant game at night, the Cowboys and the Giants, which was a crazy finish. And Beckham, he got drilled, and you could see he was hurting, and he didn't want to get off the field. And I heard the commentators say that the neurologist, those guys wanted to talk to him, but or the Southern reporter said, I remember her name, and but he wouldn't get off the field. Like, that's got to change. If they want to pull that guy off the field, they got to demand the head coach pulls him off the field or the offense or defensive coordinator. I think that's a mistake. You know what I'm talking about, Seth?
Yeah, of course. Beckham's that kind of guy. He's such a gamer, but you got to pull these guys off the field.
You got to pull them off the field. You got to protect them from themselves.
I'm looking at least 5 concussions yesterday.
Yeah. No, oh, really? 5?
Yeah, I got the injury report here.
Wow, I didn't know it was 5. Oh my God, that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot. Yeah, that really is. So. Bro, why is this guy? Look at this other guy. He's mad now. He's saying I can't find the show. What?
Didn't you link out the show?
I did link out the show. You go to TAZshow.com, you find the show.
The Taz Show.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, what is there? I mean, it's like, what is so hard here? So, what was your favorite game of yesterday, by the way?
My favorite game of yesterday. It was fun. I saw Johnny Manziel come in. That's the game I was watching, so. I saw Manziel come in and throw this beautiful touchdown, look like Texas A&M, and then all of a sudden...
Hold on. Speaking of concussions, because McCowan got lit up.
Yes, he got lit up.
And that's what he got.
That's one of my guys right here.
Spun around, dude. I mean, he got drilled.
Well, he was trying to get in the end zone, and he got whacked, and he fumbled the ball. It was a big play in the game, actually.
And I think Cromartie covered the ball and got the TD.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, it was...
No, it was Cromartie, wasn't it?
It was a
No.
was a touchback, I thought. No, or was it?
I don't
TV?
remember. I don't because
can't
I was
remember
going back and forth to the Bills game.
I was watching Red Zone too. It was just all over the place, man. And I was, and
Yeah. But speaking of bombs, I saw, Tyrod Taylor, man, he threw a bomb. It was awesome.
Oh, my man Percy Harvin, I had him in one of my DraftKings teams.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you what,
That's
man.
why I won some money.
Percy Harvin, bro, he's just so fast, so exciting to watch. Bills look great. Their energy on defense was amazing. Their special teams, everything. They beat the Colts. I mean, Andrew Luck, you could see, was frustrated. Hilton looked great, as usual, for those guys. I mean, he's just a great player. Luck struggled. Luck did. I mean, you could see he was a little frustrated. But, Jets win. I like Manziel. I like seeing Manziel. But then he kind of like the other shoe dropped on him during the rest of the game. He kind of fell apart. And the Jets took advantage of that. They did. You see Amir Abdullah, bro. He's on my fantasy team from Detroit. This guy, he played for Nebraska, okay? This guy's a stud, underrated running back. I mean, just amazing flex guy for your fantasy team. Awesome. But what about the thing, bro, with Adam Jones?
Pac-Man?
Yeah, with the Bengals against the Raiders. Did you see what happened? Amari Cooper from the Raiders catches the ball. Jones tackles him. I don't know. They got some kind of scuffle, whatever happened with them. And it was like a full mount, top mount by Jones. He literally pries the helmet off of Cooper's head, grabs the back of Cooper's neck while he's on top of him, and drives the back of his head, his skull, into his own helmet. Jones did this. He gets a 15-yard penalty. How in the hell he didn't get ejected from the game is beyond me.
Suspended. He'll get a suspension.
He will get a suspension or a fine.
He thought he was back in TNA, I guess.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. But I got to tell you, the superstar, in my opinion, of the NFL Sunday was definitely my man from the Titans. What do you call it? Was Mariota, bro, the Oregon Duck.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he was on fire. What'd you think of Mariota, dude?
Well, it's all like Mariota versus Winston. It turned out to be no contest.
Okay.
But it takes more than one guy. It takes more than one guy to make a team.
Yeah, no, I agree. So I thought it was a very good what do you call it? Very good Sunday for the NFL. I really enjoyed it. A lot of great stuff went on there for sure. No doubt about it. We got a phone call. I think we got who's Eric? Eric's on hold, I believe.
Yes, he is.
Eric, where you at? Let's get Eric on the hook here. Working this out. We got a new phone system.
How you doing today?
Hey, good. How you doing, man?
Hi, I'm calling from Clearwater, man. I got a question for you about when you did the aces and ace angle.
Yes.
When you and Sinead were still broadcasting, and you and Sinead were supposed to be, I guess, kind of a little mad at each other because you were in the aces and ace, and it seemed like at times you were trying to be a jerk to him, but man, your chemistry was so strong. It seemed like you guys just kind of went back into kind of liking each other. Was that a hard thing to do with Sinead because you guys had such great chemistry to try to feed off of, like you were angry at each other?
Well, it's a great question, and yeah, it was actually. It was kind of hard because we are such good friends, and you notice that. But Mike is a true pro and played off of it. I had a lot of fun doing that. That angle because.
And you got a great show, and man, you're the number one guy out there. And thanks for taking my call, man. Have a great day, and good luck to you and the Sun Food Jobber.
All right, thank you, brother. I appreciate the support, man. Keep listening on, and it was tough. I mean, you got a good point, Eric. I mean, it was tough with doing that with Tanay, being a heel with him because he's Mike Tanay. It's tough to heel him. But then over the years, as I really got to know Mike, now I want to heel him on a normal, regular basis. And you know the deal that Tanay can't stand you.
He
Seth,
loves me.
No, he does not. The fantasy draft shows, which a lot of people wondering, the fantasy draft's not disappearing, right? The fantasy draft's not disappearing.
Bigger and better than ever.
No doubt. We're going to try and bang out a live one, a 2-hour fantasy draft special, but we got to get Tanay to get up early because he lives in Vegas to come on here live one day on one of the TAZ shows here. So go at Mike Tanay, what's Mike's official Twitter handle, and when you guys get a chance, just tweet Mike Tanay, bug him, because he loves when you guys interact with him.
Real Mike Tanay?
It's at Real Mike Tanay. And just tell Mike, hey, get up early one day and do a live fantasy draft with Taz and Seth. Come on, buddy, get up early. Mike loves when you guys tweet at him and ask you questions. Hey, his podcast is doing great, Mike, huh?
It's awesome, man. His guys at first college week, they went 7-0 the picks.
Wow, really?
Yeah, literally 7-0.
No, that's the legit. No, Look, his sports gambling, his knowledge, the guy ran the sports book at the Gold Coast in Las Vegas for years. His wife is involved with gambling, with casinos there in Vegas. I don't know what she does there, but, this guy is dialed in and hooked into everybody. I remember during my years in TNA, wrestlers would come up to him. Anybody was, betting money on games or whatever. They would go up to Mike, get opinions and viewpoints on the game, or, hey, what do you think, Mike, any pointers? Or, hey, the line in this game is this, that. This guy was like, he still is. He's an expert. So his sports gambling podcast, it's here on Play.it. You could find it. He's part of the CBS family also. So Mike does a great job. He's very passionate about his podcast. And, that's the key. He's not looking to just get a money grab and get some advertising, make some money. He wants this thing to be successful. And that's the key to any, I think when you're doing podcasting and you're coming from the wrestling business, because there's a lot of options out there. So, and that's the other misconception. Some people like, podcast. Oh, I love your new podcast that's going to be live.
It's not a podcast. It's a live radio show.
Correct.
Yes, and there will be a podcast version of it every day.
Right, a digital download, which in essence is called a podcast, correct?
Correct.
Right. So, that's really, people are just a little confused on that. What a podcast is, what a podcast isn't. Again, the phone number is 1-866-I-PLAY-IT, 1-866-475-2948. So, but anyway, I think that as we roll here, because let's be honest, we're not in our regular studio we're going to be in.
Right. We're in a makeshift little room waiting for the new video studio to be ready.
Well, it's not really a little room. It's a control room that we're in. And so where our phone system is a little fugazi.
Well, yeah, and I'm a little close to you.
You're a little close. It's again, we don't have our cameras up and rolling yet. October 12th. That's news that you broke here. Breaking news. I'm surprised that's not all over the internet. Breaking news. And it'd be good if you had that in a sound effects machine, but you don't have a sound effects machine, I guess.
I don't?
No, that's what I heard. Yes. So anyway, and we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that incident with Paige and Lisa Fox, which again I have some. Let's wait a few minutes before we do that because I know you wanted to talk a little bit about this day in history. You're big into this day in history. You got any info on that? You want to bounce something off me, genius? What do you got, bro?
Whoa. Hold up a second.
What, you don't have it ready?
I don't have it ready.
Kinks are being worked out. No big deal. See, that's what you call me as the lead host. I put the man on the spot, okay, because I'm working with Seth.
Give me 15 seconds and I'll give you everything.
Give me 15 seconds and I'll give you the world.
Yes.
You got 15 seconds, homeboy. So, again, I think that it's a I think that if back to the NFL, because I'm having a thought in my head because I didn't cover this when I was talking about it. If the NFL has these neurologists on the sidelines and they're not team doctors and they're policing guys' injuries, I think that's a great thing for the safety of the game. I know WWE is very, very concussion sensitive. I assume Ring of Honor and TNA are. I don't know. I know for a fact WWE is, and that's important, especially in the wrestling business. There's definitely big connections with the NFL because, or even college football or high school football because of the physicality involved. So I think having that kind of an outside group involved is very smart by the NFL and probably protects them against, any major bad press, litigation, all the stuff. But at the end of the day, safety of the men that are playing the game. So, that's important. What's up, Seth? What?
I got this stuff together.
Oh, you're smooth. Yeah, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm real smooth.
Oh, jeez.
Like a cobblestone road.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, well, I pulled some of this day in history, this day in wrestling history. Let's remember, your roots.
Of
Not
course.
my roots. I don't have any roots.
The roots are on fire. You don't know that song, do you? Back in the day?
The Roof.
It's The Roof. I know. I'm joking around, bro.
I don't know the songs. Don't mess with me with music.
Song. Yeah.
I might be retarded with everything else, but
Easy.
oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, shoot.
Okay. This one's a little wordy, but I found it to be very interesting. This day in wrestling history, 1937, John Pasek was awarded the NWA World Heavyweight title when the NWA decided that a $1,000 bond would have to be posted by the champion for the title belt. Everett Marshall was supposed to be the recognized champion, but he didn't want to put up the money. So they're like, okay, we're going to make Pasek the champion. They later reconsidered the decision.
Whoa. What year is this?
1937. $1,000 is a lot of money back in 1937.
You think it's a lot of money now?
Yeah. I'm just saying to put up that money. So they later reconsidered, and they awarded the title to the guy we know as TAZ, who defeated Marshall for the Midwest Association heavyweight title 3 months later.
Wow.
That's crazy, right?
That is crazy. Yeah. I mean, when you said this day in history, I think you're going to go back to, the Stone Age over
dude,
here.
I'm going back.
You think? I mean,
Yes.
That's way back.
Yeah.
So you have a question, comment, statement for me about this? I just think that's a little crazy.
You just told me. You just said you think it's a little crazy.
It is. I mean, see, back then, I can't comment that much about that far back, but
even the NWA champions back in the 70s and 80s had to put like $10,000 or $25,000 up, right?
That's legend has it. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know the truth. I'm always very like, who knows type thing. If I wasn't there and I didn't see it. But yeah, that was the rumor. I mean, yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I mean, when I was a world champion, that never happened. I just want to get paid. Pay me, bro. You know what I'm saying?
He was like, "Taz, give me $10,000." Like, I'm gonna
imagine?
I'm gonna choke you out. $10,000. You give me my money. Where's my money? Yeah, give you money. I'm not giving you money.
Oh man.
Oh, you're the champ. Now give me money. Yeah. Okay. That would have went over real well with you.
Oh yeah.
I got a couple more. 1977. I just thought it was interesting because I think there's some fans out there that might not know that Peter Maivia was grandfather of The Rock, father of Rocky Johnson. He was a legend in wrestling. He was a Samoan powerhouse. He defeated the WWF World Champion superstar Billy Graham via pinfall in a non-title match in Portland, Maine back in 1977.
What year was this? I'm sorry.
1977.
77. Wow.
Yeah, superstar Billy Graham. Yeah, people don't know. Look up The Rock. Peter Maivia was a Samoan high chief. Peter Maivia
was a powerhouse. I mean,
in The Rock's book, he talked about these guys were making fun of him, his grandfather, for eating with his hands, and he threw a guy through the window. And then he went and picked him up and said, "Please don't make fun of me."
No, he was known as a legitimate tough guy. I mean, I never had the opportunity to meet the man, but I've heard enough stories about him, actually from The Rock. And he, believe it or not, look at Rock. I mean, Rock is, a big dude. Rock's, definitely 6'4", 6'5", big man. His dad, Rocky Johnson, I met once or twice. He was probably about 6 foot 6'1", and meanwhile, Peter Maivia, Rock's
5'10",
grandfather, maybe 5. I mean, he was more like, I'm 5'8". I remember Rock telling me like I was kind of like the similar height to his granddad. You know what I mean? Like for the generations, shows you the evolution of people and athletes. How the size difference.
Rocky Johnson was a stud. I mean, he also, I think he sparred with Muhammad Ali.
He was a boxer, yeah. No, he definitely was a stud, no doubt about it. But he wasn't a tall guy, Rocky Johnson. Rock himself, big, long-limbed guy. I mean, he's obviously known for his awesome physique and his great charisma, and he's the people's champ and all this stuff. But I wrestled Rock once in, I think it was in Baltimore on a SmackDown, I believe, in a three-way match. Me, Rock, and Kurt Angle. And I wrestled a lot of tall guys, but just something about Rock, like Rock and Booker T was similar. They both have these limbs, these long arms and legs that were like, they just, it's hard to explain, like athletic guys with these long limbs, you know what I mean? Like very unique guys to wrestle, especially when you have a vertically challenged fellow like myself. So
just wrap you up like a pretzel.
Well, yeah.
I got one more for you.
Yeah,
I just noted a 2007 Ring of Honor match, Motor City Madness, only because the names on the card, and these guys went on to what they went on to accomplish and do, like Davey Richards, Bryan Danielson, as everyone knows better as Daniel Bryan, Kenny King was on there, Kevin Steen, who's now Kevin Owens, and the Briscoes, who are still at Ring of Honor, but they wrestled against Austin Aries, who went on to be a world champion. So I just thought it was interesting to show, maybe some people don't realize how many great wrestlers came out of Ring of Honor.
Oh, my God.
Not to mention CM Punk and Samoa Joe.
Nonstop.
Yeah, I mean, low key. I mean, really amazing what ROH was able to develop and these guys what they went on to accomplish.
They just basically they do an amazing job. I don't know how it is like to build. Sorry, drop something. To build talent, and give talent that platform. We're gonna have some Ring of Honor guys on, and I've done that on my podcast in the future here. And again, the phone number is 1-866-I-PLAY-IT, 1-866-I-PLAY-IT. And, we're going to have some Ring of Honor guys on in the future here, near future. And I also want to get, maybe somebody from the front office or something like that on here just to talk about that. I mean, talk about how they're just great at plucking talent or developing talent. They do a great job, but I think better than everybody, to be honest with you. I mean that. I mean, I definitely think. I mean, NXT obviously, is a brand in itself now, WWE, and they do a great job. They're doing an amazing job of building guys. But Ring of Honor finds the guys, you know what I mean? Like, and then they build them, and they do a great job, but they don't get enough credit for it. So I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, man. I noticed, I saw that. I was like, wow, look at these names on this card. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a crazy amount.
And I kicked myself because, I wasn't even familiar with Ring of Honor, 8 years ago. I could have been going to all these great matches in Jersey and New York that I missed.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't come to that show, that PWS show I was at in Brooklyn, Bay Ridge. I'm surprised you didn't come by.
I was working, man.
Oh, really? You're always working.
I'm always working.
Yeah, you're a hard worker. So,
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up that Ring of Honor stuff because I think people need to know more about how great Ring of Honor is and what they do, and they don't get enough credit for it. They do a great job. They do great shows, and I definitely think that they're underrated. And you're not seeing WWE give them any credit. Why would they? It's a different brand. I understand that. I mean, I thought for a while, just in my own crazy theory, that they had some sort of a working relationship. But then I found out they really didn't, But WWE is known for they don't play well with others. And I respect that. That's why they're the top dog, and they've been like that for years. I understand Vince McMahon's, mindset on that, how he does his business. And I think everybody in the company is kind of just programmed that same exact way. So they do a good job of that. And again, don't forget, in this particular show, going to do a Raw preview for sure and talk about that Paige Elisa Fox incident. So I think we have some audio on that for those that aren't familiar with it. And now, I just noticed on Twitter here, some people are still saying they're having a hard time finding the show. But, what's the story here, dude? Why is there like?
I don't know because the show is up and running. I heard it.
No, I know that. People call, I know that. I'm just saying, I don't understand this. I really don't.
I think they'll get to it. Just like, we're having a couple little kinks. They'll work out the kinks. They'll get
I hear, dude, it's totally cool.
And they'll download it later.
Yeah. No, it's totally cool. I mean, this is 2 hours, live, and like we talked about earlier, if you're just joining in now live, this will be available at 10 a.m. Eastern, just about, as a digital download or for what you would call a podcast. So that'll be definitely fun for those people on the West Coast that didn't get a chance to hear it live, or people in the UK. And now we are getting word that there is an issue with the phones. For anybody trying to call in, just bear with us. Our engineer just sent an IM to Seth. So 1-866-475-2948. But that's fine. It is what it is. You know what? Well, we got a second or two here. Let's talk a little bit about. Let me actually. You have to pull that audio up, dude. About Paige and let me set this up. Paige and Alicia Fox from the WWE. Two excellent divas. There was an incident with these two gals. They were at I believe they were at a karaoke bar. Well, you got it ready. Let's listen to this.
And Alicia Fox just did a live event. So we both met up, we're at the hotel, and we're like, hey, there's a karaoke bar down the street. We should close in like 20 minutes. Let's go down there. And
karaoke. Bro, I got to tell you something. I'm not into karaoke.
You're into it?
No, I'm not.
I love karaoke.
See, now that doesn't surprise me. I have never
I love it.
Done karaoke. One time, I think years ago, I was in Japan, and we went to get something to eat, which was like a quasi-bar restaurant, and it was karaoke. And it was Japanese folks singing American songs, which was pretty funny.
All right, that could be pretty entertaining.
Yeah, it was entertaining, and it was a lot of fun, but I would never do it. I don't suggest any pro wrestler doing karaoke ever.
Even the ladies?
Speaking of karaoke, I'm joking about telling what wrestlers should and shouldn't do.
Why?
Speaking of
karaoke, you should have a handbook.
The great Pat Patterson, okay, probably the greatest mind bookers ever in the history of the business. Worked for Vince McMahon forever.
And first Intercontinental Champion.
Yes, sir. Is a huge karaoke guy. Unbelievable. Like big time.
Man. All right.
He is. Frank Sinatra. He does the whole thing. He's like really just boasts about it, brags about it. Big time karaoke guy. So that's a little tidbit on
See,
Pat Patterson.
I never got to go to the ring and hear the crowd, like your debut at the Garden. I never got that. So I make up for my lack of talent with passion and enthusiasm, and I go up there and scream a little bit.
Can we hear more about Paige here?
You don't hear more about my karaoke?
No, I want to hear Paige.
Okay.
Wait, pause this for a minute. Hold up. I'm sorry, I should have set this up. This is at, what is it, that Comic-Con or something like that? I think it's at, where's this at?
Wizard World Comic-Con in, I can't read, what does that say? Some Wisconsin, maybe?
It's in Schneeber's firm in Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's in
So let's hear the rest of Paige. Go ahead.
All I wanted to do, we were literally there less than 10 minutes. I went up, sang a song, and then me and Foxy and our friends were talking to each other, and then literally this woman was recording us. Flash on, like it was just disrespectful in my opinion. So I said to her, I was like, "Excuse me, ma'am." I go,
Hold on, stop this for 1 second. Okay, I'm sorry. I want to hear her last sentence. Go ahead.
Please ask my permission first before you do that.
Okay, so hang on, stop for a minute. So see right there, what she's saying, that's a big thing to me. What Paige is saying is, this woman was videoing her, I guess with a phone or whatever, or taking a picture with video, and Paige was like, stopped her down and said, don't do that. And she asked her nicely, if you'd like to take a picture or video, just ask. Listen, wrestling fans out there, I'm telling you, anybody that sees somebody famous, if you want to take a picture of them or take video, I'm telling you from experience, don't just do it in a sneaky manner or in a ballsy manner where you just do it to do it. Just ask if the person minds. Public figures doesn't mean that you're like an animal in a zoo, okay? Public figure, is a person. So just, ask the person if they mind, okay? Just ask the person if they mind. Don't just do it.
I just took a picture of you.
Okay. Oh, I got the joke. Okay, great. You didn't X, so now I have to punch you. No, so that's the thing. I mean, so I could see what she's upset about, and I could see why she's upset. I got it. Okay, because I would be too. I've gotten upset. I was at Disney. I'll tell you a quick story before we get back to Paige. I was at Disney World years ago. My wife and my son. He was a baby. He was in a stroller, I believe. And some guy. This is when cell phones just started getting cameras on them. He took a picture of me, but I felt someone was sneakily behind me taking a picture. And I made eye contact with the guy, and he was like with his wife and 2 kids, and he took his kids, and they left the store. This was somewhere in Disney. I think I told the story before. And I hunted the guy down. And I said, dude, delete that. What are you doing? Don't do that. That's wrong.
And give me my towel back.
Yeah, give me my towel back so Cesaro can use it, and Suzuki. I continue playing. Go ahead.
Oh, boy. Okay. Here we go.
It's a public place, and I don't want to be recorded. Simple as. So she started getting aggressive for no reason. It's just a drunk mess. So like I have to.
Wait, hold on, stop that for a minute. Stop for a minute. See, that's the other thing. I hate the cackling of the audience. It's like because there's people in the audience. It's like a comedy thing, and I don't like cackling. I'm not a fan of cackling.
No, you don't like the cackle.
No, I don't. That annoyed me. But good, continue.
Sorry, children. But yeah, so she starts getting angry, and then she's got the flash in front of Foxy's face, so Foxy's like flipping off the camera, like, get out of my face! Like that. Then all of a sudden, she grabs a drink and throws it in her face.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, hell no. So luckily, we had a drink. Please don't try to say her, because we had a drink and we threw it back in her face. We're like, okay.
Hold on, now stop that for 1 second. So see that in my book, that's okay. Sure. Someone throws a drink in your face, you throw a drink back at them. And even though these are public figures, these are 2 pro wrestlers, sports entertainers.
They're people.
They're people. You don't throw a drink in someone's face. That's a problem. That female who did that's lucky that
it's almost worse than hitting somebody.
These 2 girls didn't drop her. I continue playing it. Go ahead.
Just have that back, but then all of a sudden, like 20 bartenders come in between us, and we're like, what is going on right now? And then she's like going crazy, and then all of a sudden she throws another drink. So I grab a big bottle of water and tip it over her head. I'm just like, all right, well, you're weighing me, so F you. Thank you. And then all of a sudden, her best friend pops out of nowhere. I was like, where'd you come from? I didn't realize she was just running solo.
So she takes the bottle of water, Paige pours on her head. Look, I got to say, this thing, I mean, they're lucky it didn't get worse. And Paige and Alicia Fox didn't do anything wrong in my book. I mean, I think it spiels out to outside because I've never heard this audio already. Fast forward, let's pick it up from there. Let's see what we got.
She comes along, starts poking me in the head. I'm just like, so I like whack her hand away. And I'm like, please don't be disrespectful. And then all of a sudden we start second, and I say the worst stuff to her, which I can't say because there's children in the room. But I said she does certain stuff to get money. I was just like, I was so mad at her at this point. I was like, I don't want any beers thrown in my face. I don't want to fight right now because the Divas Revolution is on, and I don't want to be taken out of it. I don't want to get fired from my job. So then we get taken outside, and they're like, we'll see you outside. And I'm like, how old are you, 12? Who says that? I'll see you outside.
Yeah, hold on, stop this. Yeah, actually, Seth, I'll see you outside. No, no, but listen, she's joking around, Paige, and talking about this, but you know that she had to be, her and Alicia Fox, like super livid, furious, angry, and she's kind of making light of it right now. And I don't blame her, because she's in front of a bunch of people on a microphone. So Paige, I think, is handling it the right way. But this is another thing that goes back to a podcast I recently dropped about wrestlers' safety. And this is a similar type of thing here, but they're in public. They're at a bar. They're both two grown women. They're adults, but they're on TV, and people are trying to utilize that. And there's the attitude of, well, if I put my hands on you and then you beat me up and defend yourself, I'll just sue you. Well, it's not that easy. I mean, yeah, you could sue anyone anytime.
You're not gonna have a good case if you start the aggression.
No, yeah. I mean, so it's like, I could see her frustration here, but she's also doing the right thing because she's in public and she's laughing about it, kind of joking about what happened. But you could kind of read between the lines, and I think it ended up going outside, spilling outside. I mean, look, Seth, I can imagine you getting beat up several times in a karaoke bar. Has that ever happened to you?
Get beat up in a karaoke bar? No.
What about like a Chuck E. Cheese? You ever get like roughed up?
I did get held under the ball pit.
The ball pit.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah.
How are the phone lines? What do we got going on? Give us an update.
Phone lines are a little struggling right now.
Yeah, because I saw Brian come in and talk to you. It was, it's just not good right now, huh? The phone lines. We're working out kinks.
I'm upset.
Yeah, working out kinks, and
I'm upset, which means that you're angry.
Yeah. That's okay. I mean, people. There are obviously a lot of people are listening because
the engineer's on his way in.
Okay, great. I've heard that one before.
He'll be here by the time the show's over.
Yeah, great. Yeah, so and again, we just real quick let you guys know we're going to do a Raw preview. We're going to break down Raw extensively, and also going to talk about the Mayweather fight. Paulie Malignaggi. I say it right? Come on, say it right.
Paulie Malignaggi.
Paulie Malignaggi. Yeah.
Right.
I thought I had vowels in my real last name. He's going to be on a guest to break down the fight.
He might be. He might not be.
He might not be. Oh, because of the phone system.
Correct.
That's not a good sign.
No.
Okay. So we're doing our best here. Again, this is the first show, and it says, working out kinks. And that's kind of what happens. Sometimes these things happen. But for those that are listening, I appreciate it. If you're hearing the show loud and clear, send me a tweet and let me know. Just because I'm getting word. My wife's listening to the show. I know she hears it loud and clear. Fine. I mean, I think the best way to get the show would be, TAZshow.com. Right? Directs you right
The Taz Show.
TAZshow.com is not the TAZshow.com.
Correct.
So why are you saying the Taz Show? So TAZshow.com, I mean, and it'll direct you to play.it. I mean, so they've done tons of testing with this. And, anybody who's having issues with it.
TheTazShow.com.
Okay, it's TheTazShow.com. Okay, great. I'm glad you sent me that email. And, it's, again, we just got to get rolling the right way. It takes time. It's a whole new world right here. So that's part of the issue. And if I was listening at home, I think it's fun. I think it's fun to hear something.
Actually, they both work, so we're both right.
Okay, good. I think it's fun to hear something raw and unfiltered. Excuse me, raw and unfiltered, and I think it makes it more organic and legitimate. It's not that a lot of stuff you hear today or see today is so filtered and so clean and sleek and, give me the stuff that's legit. I think that's why people loved like ECW back in the day so much because, it was just stuff that would cook up in Paul Heyman's crazy brain and would just come out.
Watching ECW, I thought you were legit, like you were angry and nasty, and then I got to meet you and I realized you weren't acting.
No,
That's really you. Except, you mellow it out maybe a little bit, but
Yeah, well, I'm like a perfectionist, so I can assure you there'll be a meeting after the show.
Oh, my God.
With a lot of people.
I'm gonna have footprints on my T-shirt.
Yeah. So, but no, I really think that's what's cool though. It's organic. It's real. Again, first show. This is live streaming, live radio on different CBS platforms, and if there's issues with any of those platforms, I mean, all kidding aside, you got to give the engineers a break. You got to give everybody. It's a whole new world they're entering in here. So, you got to give it a little time. I mean, but again, it's working because people are hearing it. I'm getting text messages from a lot of people, friends of mine, personal friends, that are hearing it, and they're loving it. So thank you to those. All
thank you.
Yeah, they didn't like you. They like me.
I'm not saying thank you for listening to the show.
They don't
thank
like
you.
me.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, like, again, back to ECW, I think that was it because it was so real and so raw and organic, and it's like Paul Heyman didn't care. It was unfiltered, and it was legitimately unfiltered, and it's like that's what all these wrestling companies are clamoring to. If you watch the way backstage interviews are done now as opposed to years ago, you see stagehands working. You'll see like the truck that's holding all the gear or the ring truck or whatever. It's more as opposed to years ago where it was a backdrop, it was a set, it was a Mr. Microphone guy interviewing a wrestler. Now it's like for years now, it's been more reality-based and more let's catch you in the middle of walking to the ring or that kind of stuff. And all the companies are doing because, I mean, us as fans, we enjoy it, and I think that's what's cool. And I'm segueing that to what's going on here with the TAZ show right now, that we're having an issue with the phone lines, right? So we had a segment set up where we wanted to take a bunch of phone calls. We can't. So that's kind of what happens. I mean, you could try and call. I mean, for the hell of it, try again. We'll see if it works. 866-I-PLAY-IT or 866-475-2948. Give it a shot. What the hell you want me to tell you? I mean, we're working it out.
Oh, it's aggravating.
Speaking of working it out, I got on one of my favorite undershirts, by the way, bro. My boys over at MackWeldon.com. Mack, M-A-C-K, Weldon, W-E-L-D-O-N. These guys make some high-quality stuff. They're a New York-based company. I mean, they really make high-end stuff for sure. I mean, the underwear is designed to stay put, meaning you never have to worry about shoving your hands down your pants to adjust the legs of your drawers. I've seen you do that at times, and I told you about Mack Weldon, and now you don't do it anymore.
Return to the Mac. No, you straighten me out.
It's uncomfortable. You're running your feet up, down your hands up and down your socks all silly. You get some socks from Mack Weldon. It's a one-size-fits-all deal. The socks, they stay good. I mean, they're meant to stay good with a cushioned footbed.
Look at that. Look at those socks.
Look at those socks. They look beautiful.
Huh?
A footbed, they're guaranteed never to slide down your leg. So you run around, if you want to wear calf highs, you run around with calf high socks with your shorts on. You don't have to worry about your socks dropping. Mack Weldon, they get it done right. Their products are naturally antimicrobial.
Antimicrobial.
Which means eliminates the odor. Yes. Eliminates the odor.
I thought it was bugs.
No, come on. What the heck?
No bugs.
So underwear, socks, shirts, they should look good and perform well. Mack Weldon gets that done. If you're working out, hanging out, doing whatever, going on a date, just everyday life. And I got a special for you boys and girls. 20% off, baby. 20% off when you go to MackWeldon.com, buy your stuff. Go in the promo code AREA and type in TAZ, and you will get 20% off. That's pretty good.
Now you tell me.
MackWeldon.com, man. They do a good job. You like Mack Weldon? I know you do.
Love Mack Weldon. Return to the Mac. Remember that song? It's a great song.
Yeah, of course. What's the update on Paulie? Are we going to be able to get him, or otherwise we got to talk about the fight without Paulie, which is not good. He's a two-time world champion and a broadcaster.
He's waiting on us. He's ready to go, except we're having some phone issues.
Well, tell Paulie I apologize. Text him and let him know or whatever. I mean, so it's... No, it is what it is. We're having phone issues. I was kind of worried this was going to happen. And, it's... See, look, here's part of the issue. Like, I got people tweet me they're going on radio.com, and they're searching TAZ, and they're not finding it. And they're not happy about it, and I don't blame them. It's not good. So, but you just go to, if you're listening, I don't need to tell you this, but text any of your friends that are looking for it, and just type in, TAZ.com. I mean, so it's like that's the best way to hear the show, and you'll be able to pull it up that way. I mean, obviously there's an issue with the radio.com app, so I wouldn't mess with that. I guess radio.com, play.it, where you can find my show always, and TAZshow.com is the way to go. I mean, any suggestions, Seth? Anything else?
That's it. Play.it. There's a listen live button. The Taz Show, TAZshow.com, the TAZshow.com. I mean, you guys can do it. You can make it. You can get there.
Well, maybe some people, you think it's a thing where maybe if you're in your car and you have the radio.com app, well, you could have the Play or the Play It app too, right?
No.
Oh, no, they don't have an app. I'm sorry. They don't have a Play It app.
No,
Okay.
no app.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Okay, so
guys, we're gonna work all this out. We're gonna take care of it.
We will work it all out. And for those people listening, just sorry we're talking about just that, we're getting people that are like they want to hear the show, which is, it is what it is. I mean, it's real. I mean, that's kind of the way this thing goes, bro. So no update on Paulie. So we're gonna do a Raw. Nothing on Paulie.
Paulie, he's ready to go. We just have issues with the phones.
Okay, you kind of sound redundant. So let's talk about let's talk a little bit about a lot of it, I should say. Monday Night Raws tonight. I think Raw's been great lately. Last week was okay, but the previous Raws I thought have been really good. What do you think of Raw? You've been enjoying it, or is it a little? The 3 hours is kind of tough, but you can hang in there with it. I mean, if you're a real fan. And what do you think?
Yeah, Raw's been good. Raw's been tight. I mean,
it's been good.
They're getting more and more wrestlers involved in the storyline. I think it's always good, and not to go back to ECW like you said, but every guy had a role, and I think they're getting closer to getting back to that, where every guy has a role, and not only every guy, and the women as well have really stepped up. They're like, they're not just a throwaway 3-minute match anymore like they were, very recently for many years.
Right
now, it's like they're up front and center.
Yeah, and we've seen that the Divas Revolution. Weeks back on Raw, you saw Stephanie McMahon come out and talk about that, and bring people like Charlotte in, Sasha, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks, and all these. These people are just tremendous workers from NXT. Awesome stuff. I think the Bellas meshing great with them. Alicia Fox, Paige, the whole thing is working. Kudos to all the divas in the WWE. They're doing a great job, and I guess we'll see some more of that tonight. Follow up from what we've seen recently on Raw.
Charlotte is she's going against Nikki, right? She's gonna try to stop her from making history, being the longest reigning Divas champion.
That's a big deal. I mean, that's a big deal just to even have an opportunity like that. I think it really helps female wrestling that WWE's promoting stuff like that. That a longest reigning Divas champion type thing, and can this reign be put to an end tonight?
And I think most people would think Charlotte's gonna win, but I don't think so.
Why?
I don't think.
I kind of disagree.
Exactly, because my mind works sometimes.
Your mind works incorrectly.
Yes, but I don't think so, because AJ Lee is the one that holds the longest reigning Divas title. It's funny they forgot.
She don't work there anymore.
Right, exactly. And her husband's CM Punk, and he's not on good terms with the company. I think maybe they want to erase her from the record books.
Okay, yeah, you could be right.
I mean, she seemed like she was on good terms with the company. She continued to work there for a while afterwards, and and then she just kind of she just got out of the business.
Well, yeah, yes and no. I mean, I don't know. I think she's supportive of her husband, which you can't blame her.
Of course.
I mean, she did put out a public tweet a while back, kind of taking a shot at Stephanie McMahon. I remember that. So I don't know how good of terms she is with the company, but she's definitely not with the company no more. But it should be interesting tonight to see if the lovely Bella, if her reign ends,
But when you talk about longest reigning women's champion, there's only one person you mention. You know who that is.
Tell me, baby.
Come on.
Tell
the Fabulous Moolah.
Tell me, baby.
She was a champion for like 39 consecutive years.
She was just crazy great. Like her, her and Mae Young, I got to know them in WWE. They were just such really nice ladies and just excellent people, fun to be around, very, very funny. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's the ultimate diva is Moolah for sure.
Did you ever go karaoke with Moolah and Mae Young?
No, did we not talk about karaoke? I'm not. I think Pat Patterson must have. Yeah,
that would have been fun.
Yeah, yeah, maybe for you, not me. Speaking of divas, how about the whole drama with your boy Rusev and Ziggler and
it's like like sands through the hourglass.
I mean, really.
So are the days of our lives.
The stuff. Well, no, I mean seriously, like the stuff has been they're getting really like it's kind of like deep what they're doing with Lana and At first I wasn't into it, but now it's like, it's kind of like a male soap opera thing. We always said about the business, and this angle is really kind of bringing that out. It really is.
And it's great for the talent too. It gives them some real meat to work with. It's something you would never expect Rusev to be in like a love rectangle.
I know, but it's funny. I think it's good. I mean,
to have that footage of Summer and Dolph kissing from like 2 years ago, whatever, a year and a half ago, is great. Because it's great that they were able to work that back in. I think she was with what's his name again? Fandango back in the day.
Fandango, yes, of course. Yeah, he kind of fell off. Yeah, he just unfortunate for that young man. Yeah, he kind of did. So that angle will definitely, I'm looking at WWE.com. It says about tonight for Raw. It says, what new drama will unfold between WWE's most talked about couples? See, we were just talking about it. And it's, I definitely think they're doing a good job of that. It's intriguing. I mean, am I going to clamor to my TV to see this angle? No.
What?
But I'll watch it. I'll be into it. I think it's cool. It's not bad. I'm kind of... so I mean, it's
Ziggler. If people remember his character, previous years, he hooked up with. He was with Vicky. He was with AJ. He was always a ladies' man. So now he's like supposedly a good guy. But it doesn't mean like
I think they call that a baby face.
A baby face.
Yes.
I was doing quotations because I thought the cameras were out. A good guy in quotes.
Cameras. We can't even get the friggin' phone lines working. Worried about cameras?
I'm not. I'm worried about everything. I'm worried about my own health and well-being after the show.
Dude, I hear you. But
when it comes to ladies, men are weak. So it's not about being baby face. It's about hey, summer's hot.
No, I totally agree. I mean, it's it should lead to a pretty good angle tonight. We'll see what happens with that. Also, what they got going on is, the question they're asking here actually on WWE.com is, will Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, against the Wyatt family, who's going to join, I should say, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose against the Wyatt family? And that's a good question. Who will it be? I don't know. I've got to think about that for a second. I mean,
who's messing with that monster, Braun Strowman?
That guy is unreal, man. I talked about him recently on the show, on the podcast, bro. Straight up powerlifter, man.
I see you got WWE.com.
Yeah, I was just looking at it.
That guy is he makes Luke Harper look small. He made Roman Reigns look like a baby.
Yeah, no, he's a big, thick, strong, powerful cat for sure. I mean, everything's gearing towards Night of the Champions, so, it's like they also, I'm looking forward to the Dudleys tonight. Bubba Ray and Devon, they've been on fire. They're red hot, man, in WWE.
Got a title shot coming up.
I know. They are red hot, and, they'll be rocking and rolling on Raw. So it's like...
there haven't been weapons, there haven't been any weapons.
No.
And they brought the tables back.
It's good. I mean, yeah.
They brought the physicality.
Yes, and it was needed. Their tag team division, the Dudleys have definitely injected good life there. Look, primetime players, I'm a fan of those guys, for sure. They do a great job. They need someone like the Dudleys to play off. The New Day has been on fire. I did a whole podcast about the New Day. I mean, I'm a fan.
New Day rocks, you said.
New Day rocks, yeah. I think the Dudleys, you could sense that chemistry there. We saw Edge and Christian. They did an appearance, and they jumped in and did a pre-tape, and it was good to see them rub up against, the newer teams type thing, and the Dudleys and them interact again. So, I think that, to me, I think the Dudleys definitely were well needed, much needed. And I got to tell you, in my talks over time, once I left TNA and then Bubba left TNA and we had Devon on the show, we would talk off air or in private about this ever happening again. And I know both of these guys, obviously forever, Bubba and Devon, and they are right where they wanted to be. They're in towards the end of their run in their career, but they still look great, work great, talk great. And they're going to go in there. They're in a full-time deal. They're working house shows, live events, everything. But I'll tell you, I got a feeling that they're going to be there longer than, like, let's say a year or 6 months. I think they're going to be there for a long time.
I agree. I mean, there's so many there's so many newer guys in the company to have the veteran presence, and they're such a big presence. They're so loud and they're so great.
They're awesome. They're from that right time, and
the tag teams are coming back. Even NXT's had the tournament going on. Your boys Samoa Joe and Finn Balor are teaming up together.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I think that's great.
Very cool.
And I got to tell you, I'm just saying, I think in my opinion, one of the most exciting and cool things about the WWE right now, about Raw and SmackDown, are Bubba and Devon, the Dudley Boys. I really believe that. And I'm interested to see what happens, as they evolved and get to Night of Champions. Obviously, tonight on Raw, we'll see a lot more getting closer to what's going to happen with the tag team stuff. And like I said, chemistry. That's the key. And we heard that caller who called in, our only caller, because after he called, Eric, from Clearwater, Florida, then the phone lines went kaput. So, when he called in, he talked about the chemistry that Mike Tenay had. And that's the thing you see with, obviously, Bubba and Devon have chemistry, but the chemistry, as I was alluding to, that Bubba and Devon, the Dudley Boys, have with the New Day, have with the primetime players. You could sense that's going to be there. Just when you're a pro and a veteran, you just have that. You're like a chameleon. You could work and gel with anyone.
You just reminded me of back to our almost a year ago, our first podcast with Edge was talking about when the new teams like the Dudleys came in back in the day. It's like having a new toy to play with. So like the New Day's got these Dudleys coming in, it brings out the best in everybody. These guys.
Absolutely, keeps things fresh. I like saying an injection. It injects new life into what they have going on there, and I really think that whoever made that decision to bring back the Dudleys, I think was a great move. I really, really do. And to me, it's maybe I'm biased because these guys are my friends and stuff like that, and I'm always rooting for them and all that jazz. But it's I think if we see the Dudleys become, look, they're boasting about it left and right, and they're not lying. If we see them become the next, tag team WWE tag team champions again for they've been champions like 5 million times.
That's the 10th time for WWE. It would be if they win the next one.
10th time.
Yep.
Wow. That's just craziness. So it's like, they have actually an interview right now on WWE.com with the Dudleys. I don't remember this announcer's name here. Tom Schnabe. It's Tom Phillips. I think is there a Tom Phillips?
Is it Todd Phillips?
Todd Gack? No, is it? There are a bunch of people that know me that heard me say Todd Gack will laugh right now.
Abe Froman?
Todd Gack. You know who Todd Gack is?
I don't know who Todd Gack is.
Real quick side note from Raw. Todd Gack has nothing to do with the pro wrestling business, but Todd Gack, for those Seinfeld fans, are the guy that was obsessed with the gum. Remember the gum episode? You have no idea. You're looking at me like you have no idea what I'm talking about.
I don't remember.
Dude, there's a lot of things you don't know about, and this is one of them. And you should know about Seinfeld. You don't even know about Seinfeld.
Oh, why? Because I'm Jewish?
I never said that.
That's why?
What are you, hypersensitive?
God, you getting racist again?
What the
Jesus
hell's wrong
Christ.
Good morning, Hebrews and Shebrews.
Dude, hey, I'm not handling that board. That's you. So don't put the heat on me. So
Jews rule. I watched all the Seinfeld episodes, but I haven't seen him in a while.
Todd Gack, bro, with the gum. He's a weird guy. He was obsessed with this one gum, chewing the gum. Todd Gack. Yes, so anytime I see an announcer named Todd, I call him Todd Gack. Except for the great Todd Grisham, who's my boy.
Your homeboy.
ESPN. We're going to have Todd Grisham on the show. But back to
the
Raw.
phones to work.
So I'm looking forward to the Dudleys. So no Paulie, by the way, right? Paulie Miles,
No, he's ready.
I know he's ready. Stop saying he's ready. I know he's ready.
No, he went back to sleep.
So I apologize for those boxing fans and fans that,
We'll have him on again very soon. Maybe
tomorrow. Maybe even tomorrow. Yep. I mean, if it starts working, is anybody trying to fix these phone lines?
I told you he'll be here by the time the show's over.
Dude, okay. So, there's a saying, pins and needles, needles and pins. It's a happy man that grins.
Oh, boy.
So you say that saying, and it's supposed to help you forget what you were mad about. I get that from the late, great Jackie Gleason. Pins and needles, needles a pin. It's a happy man that grins. Exactly. So what am I mad about?
Doing that?
You got two sounds loaded, bro?
That's all I got.
The same and the crickets.
I got crickets. I got booze. I got the Jets.
All right, great.
I'm
just trying to...
I'm really rich.
I'm just trying to stay calm with everything. And you guys know, look, I'm going to bring you the best stuff possible. We from a production standpoint, we did not hit a home run here. And the show is named after me, so I take responsibility for that.
I hate everyone.
And that's fitting. And I could promise that these issues will be worked out. For those that are listening, thank you again so much. I truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate that. To me, look, it's technology. As you said, it's live. These things are going to happen. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? It's like, what are you going to do? It's free.
We're gonna fix it.
You get what you pay for.
Oh.
You know what I mean? No, but what are you gonna do? So back to Raw. So what are you looking forward to most about Raw tonight? Your opinion?
Seth Rollins. I want to see Braun Strowman again. I won't go back to him 100 times, but
Something about that guy. I agree. Yeah.
And like, you just wonder, like, all right, he's killed you guys. Like, what can you possibly do? You better bring out a bat or a pipe or, I don't want to say gun because you can't really say gun.
Sorry, redemption. Like Seth, you said Seth Rollins. Like back to him. Like what kind of redemption he could have against Sting, that type of thing.
I like. It's great to see Sting back in his Joker. His Joker character. He really.
That's him.
He lit up TNA.
He did.
It was a lot of fun. He really took it over the top in TNA, and it's great to see him back doing that. It was a lot of fun.
Anybody who knows Sting, like he's not really like that. He's not. He's a funny, witty guy, but he's very mellow, very calm guy, like kind of a type B personality.
Introvert.
He is. But he's not. I don't want to say he's like a quiet little mouse. He's not. But like behind the scenes, he's kind of very laid back, California guy. All that is a shoot, but. This character that as you said, we've seen him do in TNA for years, and now he's doing it with WWE, being this more Joker, crazy Joker guy is him for sure. I totally agree with you. So
yeah, I love it, and it's great, and it's perfect. It's a perfect foil for Seth Rollins, because he's like a brat, and he's a whiner and complainer, and like he's pressing his buttons. And
you're right.
And like even Triple H, they're even like telling you, he's doing it. He's getting in your head. They're telling him, like they're letting us know.
Yeah, they're shooting with him. Yeah,
right.
no, and I think that's great when you do that on air, and then the authorities saying, like you're saying, Triple H is definitely telling Seth that. But Seth being this, to your point, spoiled brat. But that's what makes Seth Rollins such an amazing talent, not just physically. Again, the word of the day is chemistry, and the second words of the day is no phone lines, and the third word of the day is. Horrible engineers, but I digress. But yeah, so chemistry is the key, and that's what Seth Rollins brings. Is he brings a chemistry to just about anybody he could work with, or he's involved with. You would never think, like during a time like when I was in TNA and Sting was in TNA, and Seth Rollins was starting to get his build in WWE after he left Ring of Honor and then did his thing. That was Tyler Black back in the day. NXT, right? He's doing all that in NXT, and then boom, he's on the main roster of WWE. And I'm in TNA for argument's sake with Sting. Sting's doing his thing. I would have never said in a million years, hey, Sting, just imagine if you ever go to WWE and they put you in an angle with Seth Rollins. It would work and get over.
He'd be like, who?
No, he wouldn't say that. He followed the business.
Yeah, he knew? All right.
Dude, what kind of a statement is that? Why would you say that?
I think he may not know who he is.
You think a guy... Okay. So you think a guy to the level of success that Sting is at, okay... would not know someone in the business, especially that's at WWE or Seth Rollins or whatever. I mean, you got to be a student of the game. You got to be a student of the game. And that's what a guy like Sting is. I don't know why you would ever think that, dude.
All right, I don't know. You corrected me.
You don't know, but you say it like it's a fact.
I don't have any facts.
No, you say it like you don't. And you say it like sarcastic. Like I'm not gonna let you bury Sting. That's not right.
I'm not burying Sting.
You buried Sting. I heard.
Come on.
You're saying he didn't know Seth Rollins. That's a burial of Sting. Sting's my friend.
Oh God.
Why would you say that?
No freaking way.
Exactly. So I don't know why you would say that.
No.
Yes. So it's
no.
And it's what people are handing you notes. Is there any updates on anything? Is Paulie on the phone?
Yeah.
No Paulie?
No Paulie.
Okay. So
Eric, Brian's on the phone. He wants to talk about the Cowboys-Giants game.
Okay, bro.
The phone line, you could call it, but we can't get it on the air. That's the problem.
So wait a minute. Brian's on the phone. Can we get him on the air?
No.
Oh, we will talk about
No.
Okay. We will talk about the Cowboys-Giants game for Brian in a few minutes when we give predictions for our NFL games before we go off the air here in a little bit. We will talk briefly about that game. Did you see any of the game, by the way?
I saw a little bit of the game, and I went to bed.
Yeah, I had to go to bed, too. We get up early to
But I listened to the Moose this morning on
Moose is the man.
I drove in,
and
I heard how the Giants totally blew the game.
And both Eli and Coughlin are taking heat.
Right. It should be the offensive coordinator, I would think.
No, yeah.
What are you calling? You got to run the ball.
You got to run the ball and kill the clock. I don't know what they were doing.
I mean, look, you know me. I'm not the smartest guy.
I know.
I'm more on the other side of the spectrum.
I know.
If you will. Oh, that's bad.
Spectrum. But the thing is, though,
even I know that
it's not just run the ball and kill the clock, because that is true.
But he threw it away too and stopped the clock.
But the defense has got to.
But we know their defense is terrible.
But bro, they're driving the ball. The Cowboys drove you get Romo the ball twice, and he drives the ball for.
It's Romo. I know people like to bash him, but Romo's good.
Romo
is good.
He's seasoned.
And Des Bryant out for 4 to 6 weeks, broken foot.
Yep. Foot bag.
Foot.
Yeah, you heard his foot. Yep, a lot of injuries, bro. A lot of injuries.
How's your toe? I remember you bashed your toe into the kitchen or something.
Yeah, no, I got a toenail hang. Schneebus Burnham. So it's hanging, but it's all right. I'm gonna get a new one. Yeah, so it's
You get it in the mail. You're like, you reminded me of the late great Joe Frazier, former heavyweight champ of the world.
Oh,
he
thank you.
ran over his toe and ripped his toe off on a lawnmower or something.
Oh.
And I think they asked him if he wanted to put it back on. He's like, nah.
he didn't want to put it back on.
He's like, he just picked it up and he went to the hospital. He's like, I don't know, do something with his toe.
Real quick, because only because we didn't get Paulie on, and we said we were going to talk about the Mayweather fight. Like I said, I saw little bits and pieces of it in the establishment I was in. I know you're a big boxing guy. Let's get you, and you've been around boxing for a long time, so let's get your take on what happened. Is this guy staying retired? Said, we're 49-0, he's done. What's the deal? He's saying he's done.
Like $700 million in his career. I tend to believe him. I don't think there's anybody out there that it will entice him enough to bring him back. They might try to throw a Pacquiao rematch there, which was just the worst fight ever.
This is why. I want to talk to Paulie about this, and I don't want to
And I
disrespect.
can tell you, well,
Yes.
I can tell you a little bit. Well, we'll talk to Paulie, but Paulie appreciates and respects Floyd in his career and what he's done. Because he's a master of the ring.
All right, Paulie Malignano. Before we
Malignaggi.
but let people know why you know so much about Paul. You produce his show
Yes.
on Play It. Talk about that real quick so people know what you're talking about.
Paulie Malignaggi.
Because my fans listen to this, they hear Paulie, they think Paul Dangerous. Paulie Dangerously. That's Paulie Heyman.
No, not Paul Heyman.
No,
Paulie Malignaggi, former two-time world champion at 140, 147. He hosts a show on Play It. It's called Brooklyn to the World with his best buddy, Petey Podcast.
It's kind of gimmick infringement right there, Brooklyn to the World, but I'll digress.
Did you said from Brooklyn to the World?
No, but I like it, and I'm going to steal it.
All right, it's yours. Paulie's a really nice guy. He'd probably share it with you.
No, I don't need it. I'm good.
All right. You get the TAZ
He's a
show.
Brooklynite. I got to like the guy. He's a paisan.
Yeah, Body Slams and Beyond.
Yeah, that's my deal.
That's you.
So, anyways.
But he's also he's one of the best. Just like I said, you guys are both from Brooklyn, both paisans, both great, probably top of the line analysts in your respective sports. You've heard Paulie do the fights. He's very insightful, and he's a pro, so he knows what it's like to be in there. So he appreciates and respects what Mayweather's done. And as a fighter, the idea is to hit and not get hit. He was able to sell tickets with his mouth because he wasn't really selling it with the action in the ring because he was so good and so defensive. He's gonna come out with all his his head is gonna be intact. He doesn't take any damage, and he made a ton of money. You have to respect him for that. As far as the best ever, we should hold that debate for when we have Paulie on the phone. I have my feelings about it.
No, I hear you. I mean, I think Mayweather's a great fighter for sure, and I think that, dude. By the way, my Twitter's blown up. Do me a favor.
Yes.
Send out a tweet, tag me on the tweet, and tell people they keep going on and on about radio.com. Enough with radio.com. Okay, some people are saying that just tell them how to find the show, because now I'm starting to get a little hot. All right, so back to Mayweather. I look, the guy's obviously had an amazing career. If he stays retired, fine, whatever. Who knows? Maybe he's going to wait and come back when the time is right, when boxing gets hot again. Probably not. Who knows? But the thing is, he's made, you were saying, Seth, he's made millions upon millions of dollars. And, he obviously doesn't need the money. I mean, I'm sure he spends a ton of it, but he's probably got a different Bugatti for the day or Maserati for the day. But, he's had a great career. Now, but I think that this is like this guy's fight. This is his last fight. This guy who had all this hype, all this promotion for so many years. And now this guy's last fight. I almost forgot that he was fighting this weekend. And I saw something on Twitter like late last week. I mean, it's like no one talked about it. It was like there's no buzz. That's the thing with boxing. And when Paulie gets on, and it's not Paulie's fault, it's all fault. Technically, he wasn't on today. But when Paulie comes on, the magic man, I want to talk to him about boxing, and not in a disrespect. I would never disrespect his art or his craft or his profession. God, no way. I respect it. I respect all fighters. I do. But I'm saying the way the boxing game, I want to talk to Paulie about how boxing is marketed or lack thereof and how mixed martial arts has affected, boxing, the realm of boxing as a whole.
Well, I think you could take all the combat sports, including professional wrestling, and they've all kind of been fighting for that same piece of the pie too. I think, But MMA was really riding hot for a long time. I think wrestling's starting to come back into it, but WWE Network kind of changed the game too because they're like, we don't care if you buy the pay-per-view. We want you to buy our network.
Yeah. So. Well, I actually the tweet, and this, for those that are not on Twitter, I said, Seth, tweet, tag me. So he tags me, he puts, The show is at TAZshow.com. #thank you. Okay, bro. I've been tweeting that. The people know it's at TAZshow.com. There's got to be another way. They're saying there's a problem with the radio.com thing.
Yes, there is.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So
don't go to radio.com. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well,
like, you're not going to get the show on radio.com right now.
if people can hear you say that right now, then they don't care.
Oh, it's true. Good point.
So
All right, I'll send another tweet.
yeah. So no, whatever. Just keep tweeting. It says
Tweeting and repeating.
Yeah. It's Brian just tweeted out here something. Which this is Brian did the right thing. He tweeted out. It's working on desktops at player.radio.com. So so we'll just retweet that out. So, again, just trying to work these things out. You're hearing the kinks getting worked out right on the air, guys. Straight up. And if you notice, there's been no break spots either. We're kind of just, I'm just talking, riffing straight through here for 2 hours. That's fun. So
that'll be fixed for tomorrow as well.
That's fun. That's always good. No need for me to take a friggin' drink of water or go, to the bathroom. Maybe, because I had 4 cups of coffee. Maybe I have to, do number 1. Nah, no need. This guy's a machine. He was used to be the human podcast machine. He was the human wrecking machine. He was the human suplex machine. He's a machine. He's got a machine. His kidneys are made of a machine. He don't need to run to the bathroom. Nah. No, why would we think of the host? He'll just talk straight through. No problem. No problem.
Thank you. It's growing great.
Yeah. You're not funny.
Hey,
yeah. So what? What?
I don't know. I thought maybe if we got like a wireless mic, you can take the mic into the bathroom.
How about you get me a catheter? How about that?
That's a good idea.
Okay, that might help. You think so?
Or a bedpan.
Well, hand me that big cup over there.
You need this?
No.
See, if I knew that we were gonna have these many problems, I would have had a good sound effect for that.
No, but from what I'm hearing, I just actually got a text from a buddy of mine at WWE, which I will not say his name. And he's loving the show. He says it sounds crystal clear. It sounds awesome. He says congratulations.
Thanks, Vince.
And he said, basically, I guess there's something with again, back to the point, the radio.com issue. So I could promise you, or Seth, you could speak on this better, this will be addressed all day here in New York City at CBS office.
Yeah,
right?
No doubt. Tomorrow will be a different day.
Yeah. So
it'll be a new day.
Be a new day. New day rocks. New day rocks. Exactly.
Right.
So
Nice.
So it should be. I wonder what those guys can do tonight on Raw. Those guys, they grew on me. At first, I wasn't into it, but the New Day definitely grew on me, man. It really did.
And they did it quick, right? Because that gimmick came out, and you saw the previews. You're like, oh man, are you kidding me?
But they
and
just
then,
something, man. I don't know.
Do you think it was a long-term plan to have it go that way? Or do you think they kind of evolved based on the reaction to the crowd?
A good question. I think that it evolved. Like most things that get over really big in wrestling, not just the WWE, it's usually done, as we say sometimes, by accident, where it's just like, let's check it out. We'll just plant the seed and see how big the plant can grow. We'll keep watering it, meaning push it on TV, no matter, not just New Day, any gimmick, and it's not just the WWE. And you can't put the cart ahead of the horse a lot of times with wrestling angles and say, okay, we're going to take this wrestler, Joe Jones, and we're going to make Joe Jones the greatest, biggest star in history. We're going to make him get the biggest pop, biggest reaction. We're going to make his merchandise be the biggest sell. And 9 out of 10 times, or maybe 8 out of 10 times, when you get that kind of existing, pre-discussed, predetermined push, it don't work. It flops. Look at The Rock. I mean, when Rocky Maivia started, he fell on his face. Not Rock himself, but the company. It was just like it happens with so many different guys.
That was right at the time of right when the Attitude Era was kicking in. You guys, ECW was making a name for themselves. Rock had this horrible costume.
Yeah,
and he's all like
Go
smiling and
back to his
high-fiving
roots,
people, and everybody's like, it was die, Rocky, die
But
signs.
he was pushed hard. My point is, it's not the gimmick that was horrible. It was the way he was pushed.
Like, well, kind of like it happened to Roman Reigns a little bit, right?
Yeah, of course it did.
Yeah.
That's a great point to recent. So, what your question to me was, well, do you think that it's something that WWE, so I'm paraphrasing, but you kind of said you think it's something that WWE thought that would happen with the New Day, and no, I don't. I just think that they probably had these 3 guys that they wanted. They were kind of on their own island as individuals, and
I think they helped come up with the whole gimmick.
Yeah. But you still have to have obviously the office behind it,
of course.
So I'm sure they pitched the whole thing to the creative team, and And WWE's always been like that. Vince McMahon and stuff, he's always want the talent to think outside the box and don't just rely on the writers to say, write me something good. Like that's, that you got to be creative and think of stuff and stuff like that and pitch it. And I'm sure that's what New Day did do.
You think that's how the wrestling business has evolved? Now you have to really think outside the box and think about your own character and develop it. And if something's not working, you have to switch gears.
It's always been like that, though.
Like Tyler Breeze. I mean, he was like toiling in NXT for a couple of years, and then he came up with a new character.
No, but dude, it's because it's your career. You own a business. Okay, that business is your body. It's your face. It's your gimmick, it's your voice, it's your physicality in the ring. You own a business when you're a sports entertainer or professional wrestler, male or female, it doesn't matter. You own a business, and it's you. It's your brand. And I always thought that way of myself and guys that I knew coming up with that were successful. You got to look at it like that. So you have to, you have to think that way, okay, that you're going to pitch things. Because if you don't pitch ideas, it almost shows the front office that you're just relying on them to come up with something, which is fine, they will, or they will not. But if you pitch stuff and you think of things, it shows passion on your part, that you care. And that's so important. At times, especially in ECW, I was a pain in the ass to Heyman. He hated my guts. I think he still hates me, and I don't care. That's fine.
Yeah, most people love you.
No, they don't, and that's okay. And people here at CBS, you could speak on that. How much of a pain in the ass am I? With the show and everything during the human podcast machine, everything. I'm not putting myself over. I'm just speaking on when you care and you have passion about something. It's not that you're being annoying. You want it to work.
I agree with you. I mean, you want to be successful, and you're doing everything you can to be successful. So you can't really argue with that. You could be tough. You're tough to deal with sometimes.
I care,
I respect you 1,000%.
Well, I hear you. So the thing is, like with the business, thanks. See, with the business, like you got to be able to have that creativity and pitch stuff, and that's important. Now, the way you do it's important. Yes.
Well, sometimes things just kind of fall into place a little bit, or you get a little help. Like, you broke your neck in the ring, and you were angry, and Paul kind of told you, hey, use this. This is it.
That's exactly what happened, and I talked about that on the Human Podcast Screen. Actually, I told you I'm going to be on Colt Cabana's podcast soon here, and I actually talked about that on Colt's podcast. So I tell the whole story in detail. So, but yeah, things happen by happenstance, and you make it work and click.
Did you think before that, or do you think if you never broke your neck in the ring, like that Taz character may never have been born?
Great question. Actually, I've never been asked that question. That's weird. I think I believe in if it's meant to be, it'll be. So I do believe in that. It's kind of a gray answer I'm going to give you. But I do think that the Taz character would have happened, but it wouldn't have been to the level that it got. It got to the level it got because I was truly angry and pissed off because of the injury and coming back from the injury. That really fired me and motivated me and pushed me to work harder. So I think the Taz character would have been alive. The human suplex machine, all that would have happened. But I don't think it would have been as the sawed-off, pissed-off, anger-filled, rage-filled guy.
It was real. That's why it was so successful.
It was real. For me, it was real. I mean, to the point that, some of my brethren didn't like me. I mean, so, it's a great thing, motivation. It's a great thing, creativity. It's a great thing when you have a voice and the company allows a voice. And I never worked for Ring of Honor. I'm sure they're the same way. But I can tell you, TNA, the guys at TNA, they're open to anything you want to pitch. I could say some negative stuff about TNA, but I don't have to. I could tell you the positive. They're always open. They're a creative team. They're always open to any of the talent, from Gaborik to Dave Lagana and these guys and Conway coming to you. And now Billy Corgan's up with them, too. I don't know him that well.
Billy Corgan, what do you think about? You think Jarrett's back in the fold with that now? I mean,
that's what it is. I mean, speaking of Jarrett, like when he ran TNA straight up and all that, he was another guy that was always open to any of the talent, pitching ideas, because he has a talent and understands that. No one knows your brand better than you know your brand. You know what I mean? So, and WWE, too, they're the same way. I mean, they want you to go to them. Doesn't mean they're going to do it. I mean, I can't begin to tell you, Seth, how much I would pitch when I was before I debuted in WWE, the amount of stuff that I pitched when Vince Russo was the writer there. Vince Russo and I, before I debuted, talked non-stop. And that was from Vince McMahon wanted that. Vince McMahon said, Taz, I want you to meet Kevin Dunn. I want you to talk to Kevin Dunn about your entrance, about your video wall, about your music. That's how it was. I don't know how it is now. Maybe it's the same way, maybe it's not. But Vince McMahon wanted you to do it right and make it right because he knew you were an investment to him. It had to get over. And Vince is smart enough to know no one knows a superstar or talent, a wrestler's upside or how to make their star shine bright better than you. It's your deal. So Vince knew that.
If you don't know, you better find out.
That's true. And now there are times where they see a certain vision like of you, and it's not what you see. Well, all you do is say, "I'm not really that comfortable with that." Now that could also get you a little heat, not just in WWE, but anywhere. Like, well, we're trying to do something good with this guy, and now he's not accepting it. It's tough. I always respected guys that could say, or gals, I'm not comfortable with this angle, because they're maybe they had an agenda, but I think 9 out of 10 times they're sincere that they aren't comfortable with it. I've done that, where it's like in ECW, and I never would say I don't want to do it. I would just say, I'm not comfortable with it. You know what I mean?
Can you give us an example?
Maybe down the road. We're going to be here every day, live, daily. So there's no reason to do it now. We'll talk about more of that. I hear you. I appreciate you putting me on the spot. Thank you. Thank you, bud. You're batting. Is it possible to bat over 1,000? Is that possible?
No.
No, is that really? I don't know. Is that possible? Because if that is
in baseball, no.
If that is, you are batting maybe 10 to 25 million thousands. Yeah. Yes. You are batting like you are in like a whole different stratosphere. Okay? So that was good. Pop me. Anyway, so it's, to me, I think you got to be able to go and think and create and be creative about who you are and about your character. And I do think, circling back to the topic of New Day, until you were saying, Seth, that those three guys got together and they probably sat down with the creative team at WWE, and they, as a unit, as a team, with the talent, they come up with it. And that's the best way to do it. When all hands are on deck and everybody's invested in the angle or the storyline or the character development, man, that's everything. When the creative team, the production team, the bosses, and most importantly, the talent, the wrestler, is dialed into this, that's when it usually works. But I do not believe that and I think Vince McMahon, if he was on air with me right now, he would tell you the same thing. Most of the stuff, the talents that became giant mega stars like The Rock, like The Undertaker, like John Cena, I don't think that, or Steve Austin, I don't think that it was something that they thought would happen right away, because it usually happens kind of, like I said, by happenstance, by accident.
Or organically,
and that's the best way. And I've seen that for years and years in every company, because you should not put the cart ahead of the horse creatively, because you're only setting yourself up for failure. And that's anything. You got to crawl, then you got to walk, then you got to jog, then you got to sprint. That's the way it goes. That's my life lesson right here.
Taz, life coach.
It's like I'm Joel Osteen. So
you are. I got chills right now.
I'm a life coach.
This is amazing.
I'm a life coach. That's right. Yeah, I'm coaching life. So it's
Trump Taz 2016. Boom.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Then there's something wrong with you. You're certainly not very good.
So, but anyway, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing New Day tonight. And like you said, you're looking forward to seeing Seth Rollins. I'm looking forward to that too. To see what happens there with Sting and stuff like that. Should be, I know they had a really good house show. I know WWE did in Huntsville, Alabama. I've worked in Huntsville. That's definitely an old school territory town. Just about anybody who's wrestled more than, 10, 12 years as a pro has been through Huntsville. We all have. And they did a house show there. And it looks like they had a pretty good call. It looks like on top they had Dolph Ziggler got a victory on Rusev, which is interesting. I know the Dudleys, they won a triple threat match. It's pretty cool. With Los Matadores. and the Lucha Dragon. So they had a lot of guys. Orton beats. I'm sorry, the main event. My bad. I'm just reading it now. The main event was Randy Orton versus Sheamus. I apologize. So I get this note hands me the wrong way. So they had a lot of good matches on the card there. So that's good. And they're going to roll into Raw tonight, so it should be interesting. I think Raw is in.
I thought Randy got put out by the Wyatt family. I guess not put out. I guess he's just it was just a beatdown. I thought they made it like they were just putting him out like he was going to be on TV for a few weeks.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on that. Something's going on with him.
Movie? He's doing a movie or something?
Like that. Yeah, it's something positive. It wasn't like a negative thing.
Oh, Barrett's doing the movie too, right? And he left.
He did. That's right. Barrett did. Wade Barrett. Yeah. I thought, because when I did the last podcast, I can't remember what it was, and I was talking about Barrett. And I was wondering, wow, I speculated, what's going on? Is he off TV? But it ends up that, doing some research and finding stuff out. Sometimes when you do a show early in the morning, news breaks after you do the show, and it's like, well, the show's now, it's a digital download, a podcast, and it's in the can. Too late. It happens. It's a, to me, if WWE keeps rolling like they're rolling, Night of the Champions should be another good show. I mean, you gotta, as a wrestling fan, you gotta root that WWE keeps rolling strong. Because if WWE rolls strong, everyone rolls strong. They're the leader of the pack. It's been like that for ages now. And I gotta tell you, I've heard Vince McMahon say it with my own ears. He looks at himself. He looks at his company that they are the standard bearer. They are the ones that lead, that represent the business, And they're kind of different than everyone else, and they pride themselves on that. As we know, it's well documented. It's not wrestling. They're not pro wrestlers. They're sports entertainers. I know that. As announcers, we couldn't call them wrestlers. We had to call them superstars, But there's a reason for that. It works for them. It makes sense. It's branding, of course. It's not just
But
branding.
If you ask any of the talent on the roster, if you ask them, hey, what do you do for a living? What are they going to say?
Well, they're wrestlers. Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah, they're definitely, they're wrestlers. It would be, it's, to me, it's a thing where, I just got a funny text from a buddy of mine. I wish I could say his name because you all out there know him. And I'm quoting, could you imagine if Mike Francesa didn't have commercial breaks to take naps? Oh,
those are like 5 minutes long.
Oh, man. That was a good line I popped. Oh, definitely good stuff. But yeah, no, you got to kind of brand, you got to brand who you are, right? And that's what WWE does so well. They branded their whole territory, the whole company. And it's, to me, they are the standard bearer. They know they are. Other companies know they are. So if their business is up, it's usually everybody else's business is up for most of the times, not always.
They get a rub.
You get a rub, right. There's just so much. It's awesome. Because we've talked about this before. There's so much wrestling programming on. It's so much fun that you could watch wrestling online on an online network or on TV. I think it's what we say, something like 6 days a week, right?
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your Wednesdays now are all loaded up. You got your Fridays with New Japan. You got NXT. You got ROH.
The Wednesdays,
man.
everything.
It's crazy.
I don't know if that's changed or what's going on because a lot of people and Lucha Underground who know a lot of stuff is no one knows. This stuff is up in the air. I've been staying on top of it, but we've been getting ready to launch this show for the past several weeks. So
I only get Lucha in Spanish.
You've been oh really?
Yeah, I have to learn Spanish.
You have DirecTV?
I don't. I have Fios.
So how do you have? You said I was talking about the NFL Sunday Ticket. How do you have the Red Zone? You can get that on.
Fios has Red Zone, just Red Zone. That's all they have. They don't have the whole Sunday Ticket. So for $80 for the season, I got Red Zone.
Oh man, that's cool.
Which is cool because I did have DirecTV in the past, and I only watched Red Zone anyway.
DirecTV is great unless once there's weather, then everything.
Unless
goes,
there's a storm.
I mean that's the problem. I got a bunch.
TAZ
of
up there on the roof holding the turner dish.
No roof.
Jesus.
No roof. That's when you put the radio on and you listen to WFAN AM, not the FM.
Not the FM.
No.
Nice.
Mike Francesa.
Who told you about that FM?
What? What's that?
Oh, no, Derek Jeter.
Who told me about WFAN being on FM? You. Yeah. I'll put you over.
He's like, what?
Tell the story. It's pretty funny.
They were talking. I was like, yeah, it's on 101.9. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, I still listen to 660. I was like, go in your car and put on 101.9. Wow.
And then I realized, now people that aren't from the New York area have no idea what we're talking about.
The Fan is the biggest sports radio station in the country. It's a New York local, though. But about a couple of years ago, they put on on FM as well. So it's on 101.9 FM as well as 660 AM.
These happen to be CBS properties, by the way.
Yeah.
So
The following is not a paid endorsement.
then I find out in my truck I actually have high def radio. So I'm able to get CBS Sports radio.
Yeah, CBS Sports is a national sports network. Yeah.
So it's pretty
It's like
cool.
HD3 or something.
HD3,
Yeah.
correct. Excuse me. So I found that out. The guy that was doing the service on my truck. told me.
HD's very tricky. Yeah, like
It is tricky.
Yeah, you need like a road map.
It's cool though. It
Yeah.
is cool.
It sounds good.
Yeah. Speaking of roadmap, I'll tell you what. It seems like the engineers can't find his roadmap because he's still not here.
No.
So yeah, we need to
We'll
have.
be here at 9:01.
Yeah, I wish if any way that we could record the interview with myself and the engineer, it might be pretty good to drop some of that audio tomorrow morning.
Oh, I'm not going to be in the room for that.
Yeah.
I'm walking out.
Well, that's good. That's good because there
walking
might
out.
be a spray of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Ooh,
so it's
some kind of-
so anyway, tonight should be a good Raw. I mean, it's 3 hours, but now you're also competing with, the NFL. Here's Monday Night Football. Hello, and that I could tell you was always a concern behind the scenes. For the WWE, I can tell you that because it should be. It's like your rating's going to dip a little bit. It's going to happen. It's part of the deal. And but there are some good games on tonight, Monday night. But I want to talk real quick back to football real quick here. Fantasy football is a huge thing, as we all know. I mean, we talked about DraftKings, big supporters, sponsors of the show here and of my podcast. And I got to tell you this right now. My fantasy draft, my fantasy team, I should say, I didn't do that well. How about you, Seth? And I want to discuss this real brief.
Yeah, my fantasy team was Andrew Luck, who kind of pulled some points out toward the end of that game.
Let's
there.
pause on Andrew Luck because I'm going to tell you what happened. Okay, it's a shoot here. I didn't know. Now, you and I have never discussed our fantasy teams. We're in two different fantasy leagues, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't really socialize outside the office.
No, and there's reasons for that. So we really don't. But anyway, I have Andrew Luck as my quarterback, but what I did, my friend, is I benched him before, and I have my backup quarterback, Drew Brees, be my starter.
Oh, I have a 2 QB league, actually, so I have 2 quarterbacks playing.
Really?
Luck ended up with 24 points anyway, so not a bad showing. He pulled out some garbage points at the end.
I know. But I couldn't put him against my Bills. No, seriously, I couldn't do it.
I got Beckham Jr. with 4 points. I mean, that killed me.
Dude. He had a rough go. He was getting smashed in that game last night.
They were going after him, man.
Oh, they were. I mean, but yeah. Here's my team for those that care. Okay, I got Drew Brees was my quarterback yesterday. So and then I had Eddie Lacy. Well, I got to tell you, I thought he was going to do better. He got 15 points, bro. No, not 15. What did he get? He didn't get 15. He got, the hell did Lacy get? I just lost. I had it on here. Jonathan Stewart. Yeah, a good team. Brandon Marshall. I mean, So, but who's your defense, by the way?
My defense, Patriots.
Ugh. I got the Texans. They didn't do as good as I thought. Jets is the Jets are, look at that.
You know why the Texans didn't do good? You know that there's another Gronk sighting. His name is Travis Kelce on Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
He's a beast. I think he got knocked out of the game. But
he's a beast. Yeah.
Or maybe he came back. He had six catches, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns. He looked like Gronk out there.
Yeah, no, he did.
They turned these tight ends loose in the second year. The rookie tight ends usually don't play very well.
Yeah.
He did. He showed some signs last year, but now he's going to have a big season. I'm pissed because I had him last year.
Oh, you did? Yeah, I had this year, I had, I usually pick the tight ends late. I got Bennett from Chicago, Martellus Bennett, so he's good. I mean, but I that's who I got. I'm not, I like the flex guys. Like I said, I got Amir Abdullah, former Nebraska Husker, plays for the Lions, running back. He's just really good. I got him. So I had Victor Cruz when I got him in the draft, and now he's out. Yeah, I know, but I didn't know, dude. He's on the bench.
You should see if anybody picked up Antonio Gates because he's suspended. He's coming back in 4 games. So if you need another tight end, but Bennett's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. But anyway, tonight is a big NFL deal. And that's going to go against Raw. So we got 3 hours of Raw, and then you got the double. What do you got? A double whammy tonight, Monday Night Football, bro.
Double. They always open the season with 2 games.
Eagles, Falcons.
That game's going to be good, and everybody's so hyped up on the Eagles. And I don't get it. I mean,
because Chip Kelly coming from Oregon,
it is great. It's exciting. He runs very quick offense. They run the plays like snap, go. But Sam Bradford has not done really anything in the league yet.
Everybody knows. Look, he's an Oklahoma guy. He had a great career at Oklahoma and all that, but he really hasn't.
He's been injured a lot.
Yeah, and everybody thought that he was trade bait. I remember when we have JR on, JR's a huge Oklahoma Sooner fan. Obviously, he's a sideline guy and everything. So he'll be on his segment, Barbecue Pigskin, right?
The phones will be working by then.
What's that?
On Friday. Yeah, the phone should be working by
I
then.
should hope so. Otherwise, the segments we announce will not be working. No, they'll be working. No.
Yeah.
So, JR, I remember talking to him offline and text messaging. He was saying about when I was talking about Bradford, when that happened, to the Eagles, he said, I don't know, maybe he's trade bait. I don't know. And for a draft pick, meaning Marcus Mariota, for
they were talking about that. Yeah, there were some stories going on
former
about
Oregon
that.
Duck, played, drafted from what's his name, Kelly, all this stuff. But
I'm sure after that first week, he wishes he
oh
had him.
God, man, like I said earlier in this show, he tore it up
Yeah,
for the
4
Tennessee
touchdown
Titans.
passes.
Oh yeah, he was on fire, that kid. But this is the thing too. These quarterbacks, like even Tyrod Taylor, he's in the league like 4 or 5 years. Tyrod Taylor, he's not a rookie, but he's never really been a full blown kick-ass starter like he is with the Bills. But him, Mariota, Jameis Winston, he pooped the bed. He didn't do well at all.
Although he's my third quarterback on the bench, he ended up pulling out with 21 points. He actually had more points for me than my second quarterback, which was Matt Stafford. So, he threw for 210 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He'll be all right. I mean, he doesn't have a strong team around him.
Yeah, well, I
Only
know.
Mike Evans don't think was playing either.
I don't think. But the thing is, my point is not that I'm just giving my opinion as a casual football fan. I coached high school football and I played football, D2 college football. So I'm not an expert, but I know my stuff. But here's the thing. Defensive coordinators, man, they need time to figure out these quarterbacks. So Mariota, I'm a fan of him. Always been a fan of his when he was an Oregon Duck and all this stuff. But you watch by next year, you see it kind of a year or two. You see what's his name with the Seahawks,
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. The defensive coordinator's kind of caught up to him a little bit.
Well,
happens.
people sleep on the Rams. Oh, that game was so weird.
Rams were dude. Wow.
Where did that game come with 34-31? These are two of the best defenses in the league.
You talk about playing fast. The Rams play fast, man. Holy cow.
I think it was a good trade for the Rams. I mean, it's still early to tell, but I think
got my man Laurinaitis on that team.
Oh, yeah.
We're Animals' son, James Laurin. I met him a couple years back, when I was in years back.
Big kid, huh?
Yeah, man. When he came to one of the shows in Columbus. We were right near Ohio State University's campus. And he came with another buddy from the football team, and Animal was on the show, and he came to see his dad, and it was good to meet him. You could, it was a star at that point at Ohio State,
He's a stud.
Yeah, he's great. Number 55
Yeah,
for the Rams.
Big win for the Rams.
Yeah, huge win. I mean, that was very impressive. So tonight, you got now most of you guys are wrestling fans, so but you're football fans too. You're in fantasy football. You're in a football pool, so you got to go back and forth. You watch Raw. You watch football. We all do that. I mean, so. But what is that? The Eagles and Falcons. As we talk about the Eagles,
people sleeping on the Falcons. I mean, and people are picking the Eagles to win this game. I don't think so. Not at Atlanta. Atlanta's a good.
It's in Atlanta too, right?
Julio Jones is.
He's an animal.
He's the best receiver.
What's his name? Quarterback Ryan. Matt
Ryan.
Matt Ryan. Yeah. So,
I think it should be a high-scoring game.
Definitely should be good. And then the Vikings and the Niners. Always like the Niners.
Everybody's writing their obituary.
I know.
Harbaugh left, and it's over.
Well, that's the thing. Harbaugh left, and then he goes his first game with Michigan. His first game as Michigan Wolverine head coach, he loses to Utah.
Oof.
I watched the game, lost the game, but they won this. I can't remember who they just played. I'm drawing a blank, but they
He had nice pants though.
He's a pants monster. Actually, he's definitely a pants monster because
he's got the khakis.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, but he is. But you're right. That what do you call it? When he left the Niners, it was like
they're writing their obituary.
They're writing their obituary. I agree. Yeah, but they took it. Like I said, he lost. Michigan Wolverines lost his first game to Utah, but then they pounded the Oregon State Beavers. They beat about like 30 points or something like 35-7 or 35-3, something like that.
There's a team named the Beavers be the national champions.
Oh,
the Beavers.
Wow.
Oh, it's just a funny name.
I don't know. I never look at it like that because I'm a college football fan. So. And like I said, when we have Barbecue Pigskin with JR on Fridays, we'll be talking some college football, going to that too, going into the weekend. So
it's also the return of Adrian Peterson.
Yeah. Oh, good point. Yes, with
AP.
the Vikes. Yeah.
So people are expecting him to have a.
Speaking of Oklahoma, University of Oklahoma, yeah, Adrian Peterson. Yeah, good
expecting
point.
him to have a big year this year, coming back. He didn't play a lot last year or at all. Barely played.
Yeah. It looks like maybe the Niners are in trouble again. This game's in San Francisco, so
I think I wouldn't sleep on. I don't think San Francisco's going to be as bad as everybody's making them out to be. Although they lost a lot of players, and Aldon Smith is gone. I think he played for the Raiders yesterday.
Yeah. He did,
Yeah.
but I don't think
Didn't
he
help-
did that
didn't
much.
help- didn't help him.
No, he didn't do that much. I mean, just see a lot of.
That's my team, by the way.
I noticed when I was flipping around, dude. I was flipping around on the like I told you, on a DirecTV deal, and I was going from game to game to game to game because I was like obsessed. My kid's like, dude, you're going crazy, Dad. Relax. Like he's like walking in that room. I'm flipping around with the remote. I'm going nuts.
God bless your son.
Yeah. So I'm just sitting there watching games. At one point, I went to 4 different games, and there were 4 different guys on the field with injuries with doctors around them and trainers. I mean, the game with lower leg injuries and with, head injuries, the game has just really... why is it? People say, why is there so many injuries now more than there were back in the day? Well, because of training facilities and the education and the evolution of trainers and the sports performance and athletes, nutrition. That's why there's more injuries. That's why speed kills. Speed of the game is hyped up. You got guys that have size and speed now. I mean, I just saw a thing I was watching on MSG Varsity is a website that covers a lot of tri-state, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, football, baseball, all different sports, right? They do a great job covering basketball, lacrosse, soccer, all the stuff. And I was watching some of the high school football previews on MSG Varsity's network. And there was this young man, I don't remember the kid's name, at a high school in Brooklyn, I think Poly Prep in Brooklyn. And the kid, it was almost like Michael Orr. He's like that kind of size, like 6'6", but more muscular than Orr was when he was a kid. But ripped, muscular, tall, lightning fast. I saw a highlight reel on this kid, and they're looking at already talking the NFL, big time D1 football for this kid out of like New York City. Are you kidding me? I mean, the kid is just an amazing athlete, and I think he's like a junior, or maybe he's a senior. I don't know. But the speed. That's why I'm bringing this kid up. The speed that this kid possesses at that size, at that young age, and he's going to be around amazing trainers once he goes to college. And I don't know if he's committed to a college or not. I'm not on top of the high school football recruiting game or nothing like that. But
there's been a few players that skipped college and went right to the pros. I mean, it very rarely happens in NFL, but it's happened. But he sounds like a monster.
Yeah, he is a monster. But I don't. That's a good conversation you just brought up right there. I don't think that
it happens. It's very rare.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I don't think it's. I don't think that's a good move from a maturity statement, a standpoint, I should say, because you need to have that maturity. You can't be, you can't go into the NFL and start playing like, skip college. I think it's a little bit different with basketball. It's not as physical. It's a physical game.
I think they made a rule now that you can't. They don't even allow it anymore.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
In the NBA.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah,
you have to be like 19 years old or something.
Okay, yeah,
an age on it. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think that I think the speed of the game is what's causing all these injuries. That's why a guy like me, I'm flipping around like maybe a lot of you guys did too, flipping around on my DirecTV, on my NFL ticket, Sunday Schneebitz Furnham ticket, and I'm seeing all these different guys, 3-4 different games, guys down with an ankle injury, guys down with a concussion, guys down with a knee injury, guys down. It's a high-impact game, obviously.
I got a list of 23 injuries here from yesterday.
All right, don't go over all 23.
I'm not going. I'm just saying.
I know there was some big-name guys.
Terrell Suggs out for the year, torn Achilles.
That's huge. I know. I heard about that. Yes, Achilles. Dude, let me tell you, Achilles, you tear your Achilles. For those that don't know, that's that little ligament that's behind your foot, your heel, above your heel of your foot. You tear that, dude, I never did that, but you're done. For a long time.
Long road back.
Yeah.
Des Bryant out, broke. We said before, broke his foot.
Foot bag. Foot bag.
T.Y. Hilton hurt his knee. Andre Ellington, Cardinals running back, injured his PCL. He's always suffered with injuries too through his career. Yeah, and he looked good too yesterday before that happened. Chargers wide receiver Jacoby Jones hurt his ankle.
Browns McCown, right, got his bell rung, got a concussion.
Got his bell rung. There's a couple guys here that concussions.
Bro, he got spun, dude, like straight in midair. I can't remember what it was. Any Jet fans out there? One of the Jets receivers years ago, I think against the Dolphins. I don't know if it happened to one of the Jets or he spun around, helicoptered. Like it was a big, always on NFL films. That was back during years back, maybe during the sack exchange.
Al Toon?
No, a little bit, maybe like a Wesley Walker. I can't remember who it was. But go ahead, continue.
Wesley Walker was blind in one eye. Do you know that?
I hear you.
It's true. No, it's a true story.
Okay, great.
Yeah, who else we got on here? Delaney Walker, tight end on the Titans. It might have a broken hand, but the coach said it's not broken. We'll see. Dolphins tight end had a concussion. It's just a ton of guys here. Corey Graham on the Bills safety, your team, concussion.
Yep.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, and the concussions are more and more, and it's not that the NFL is. It's like, why is there more concussions? It's like there's more awareness, obviously, but And then you got to look at, like, again, back to the speed of the game and all that stuff. It's like, it's just, that's where it's coming from. Bodies of mass and speed and muscularity that are bringing that kind of intensity. It's just changing. Look at the linebackers of today's day and age, or the defensive linemen of today's day and age compared to the ones years ago. Look at the pro wrestlers of yesteryear, how thick and burly and smooth, more muscular smoothness they had, as opposed to the guys today that are more stealth and ripped and sliced. It's just evolution. And I think the concussion awareness in all sports, especially football, is great. And I think you got to tip your cap to one guy, a former pro wrestler, a Harvard graduate, a guy from back in the day in Tough Enough, Chris Nowinski, who I want to have on the show here. It definitely was a mastermind behind, pardon the pun, of bringing this whole education to concussion awareness. So that's really it. So, look, I'm going to just tell you guys, I appreciate everybody jumping on here, listening, TAZshow.com. We're going to be coming back at you again tomorrow morning, bright and early, 7 a.m. We will fix the phone lines. I truly, deeply apologize. I really do. If you like the show, tweet us, tweet me, let me know. Okay, stay on it. 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. For Seth, my name is Taz. Your name is not. See ya.